You are now entering Video Village.
Twinned with Pripyat, Pompeii and Perdition.
Now very off track for those carbon-neutral coal mines.
Where the gays are turning the frog water.
We shouldn't have rubbed the belly of that statue.
Pick all the plums you want now.
Coming up,
I review Avatar, Fire and Ash.
and we review Five Nights at Freddy's 2,
The War Between the Land and the Sea.
Marty Supreme,
Pluribus.
and All's Fair. So, as ever, shall we start off with the Sam's Lexus Centre?
No, wait.
It's time. Sam, Lexus Centre. Definition. Thought placenta.
They burned it down, Jord.
Oh.
Right, okay, well, it's depressing, isn't it? Before we do any reviews, I just want to say Stranger Things is trash.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I don't have it in me to review Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I've watched the whole thing years apart in real time over the last 10 years, and all I can say is that it's trash.
Okay.
It wasn't always trash, it's now trash.
Okay.
Okay?
And for those of you who don't think that, it still had a big enough cultural impact
Yeah.
that you felt it warranted mentioning on the podcast.
Yeah, it's like...
Despite the fact you don't want to talk
In
about
terms
it.
of like what pings are cell tower worthy of discussion,
Yeah.
this is like, it's conspicuous if we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it had to be addressed. And the gay thing is not the least of it, but not the most of it. It's more just, it looks like the worst MCU, like all fake
Right.
environments. And anyway. Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Okay.
Okay, the premise is main clan meets bad clan.
Right.
Bad clan allies with original villain. 2.5 hours pass. Then the final battle, which is the familiar crash boom pow with hovercrafts and whirligigs and hippogriffs.
Okay.
Right? It's what we're used to. Like The Way of Water, given its release date, this has been popping up across the awards circuit, often in the Best Picture category. Often and only, to be fair, along with visual effects.
Right.
I don't even know if critics had seen it when the nominations started rolling in.
Yeah.
It's just an accepted thing that we nominate these films. you know?
Right. Okay.
The first thing worth saying is really, who cares?
Yeah. I'm surprised. Like, I think I know one person
Yeah,
who was really excited to see
right.
the third Avatar film.
Everyone will see it.
Well, that's what's
she was the one
But that's what's so inexplicable about it is I don't know anyone that has other than her.
You do, though.
Do I?
Everyone must have seen it.
Okay.
I think, because you...
No one's ever felt compelled to talk about it.
You didn't want to watch this.
No.
Okay?
I hadn't watched the first two. Why would I
No.
commit myself
I know.
to 3
you
hours
didn't want to watch
of
this. But it's probably worth... We haven't said it. It's probably worth saying. This will be the final episode, at least for a while.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't want to just disappear on people.
No, yeah.
can have
We're taking a...
Yeah, you're going to have the best and the worst after this. But in terms of new reviews, will be the last for at least 6 months, probably.
Yeah.
Okay? Sorry. But, so I just found it, I thought for the last episode you would want to watch everything. And I know you'd feel obliged to watch the first one and the second one. You needn't have.
Okay.
But is your reason the same as your Game of Thrones thing? Which is, everyone's seen it, I'll be the one guy that hasn't.
I can't deny
I knew it.
that there's part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be that one guy that
Hasn't seen
any of the avatars. But at this point, I'm not even convinced that that's the case. I'm sure there are other people. There must be other people.
Of course there are other people
Yeah.
that haven't seen it. But, yeah, okay.
Given that they seem to have a massive cultural impact in terms of the money that they generate.
Well, no,
but also
they incur massive financial, receipt, but they don't make a massive cultural impact.
No.
That's the irony of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the thing about the most listened to music in the 60s was crooners, and it wasn't the Beatles, but it wasn't Bob Dylan, it wasn't the big cultural icons. Most popular things tend not to be reviewed. Most popular things on BBC are going to be what's that?
Call the Midwife?
Call the Midwife and the guy from My Family that's Death in Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
who's talking about those shit? No one gives a shit, you know?
Yeah.
But so who cares? I was hamstrung by the fact that I remember absolutely nothing of The Way of Water.
Okay.
I don't know where we are with the story, but it's not like it's hard to pick up. I went into it ready to be bored and to half watch it, so I did a system reboot on myself. I wanted to watch it totally clean and earnestly, okay? The result of which is that I think I had less trouble with this than I did with the second. The story is the same. It will always be the same. But it was marginally more accessible. Because there really is something impenetrable about this series. You just bounce off it. It's not get-intable, right?
Right.
So while I was a little more locked in than with the predecessor, it will prove equally forgettable. The spectacle is the point, and it's also what creates the disconnect. The plot is not unfollowable, but I did have to keep recalibrating my sights on the story in the face of all the there that was there. And that there that's there, it just doesn't feel like all that. Okay. If these films are continuing to exist on the cutting edge of technology, it's not something I recognise. Right? For one thing, the Na'vi are indistinct from each other.
Okay.
My bias is that I'm a natural photography guy, but the fact is, fairly or not, CG just isn't impressive anymore. Besides those very rare instances where something you didn't know was CG is pointed out to you.
Yeah.
Right? The buzzword for quality visual effects now needs to be inconspicuous.
Yes.
Avatar is a lot of things. One of those things is conspicuous.
Certainly is, yeah.
We're just past it. Like, maybe some kids still freak out over the virtual chaos of your MCUs, but the rest of us, like, in 2009, grown-ups were impressed with Avatar.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No.
Plus, there's a fine line between visually stimulating all these vistas and gaudy, like an over-designed video game.
Yeah.
Especially in the age of AI, this kind of CG looks perversely cheap. Unfortunately, I was made to think occasionally of Zack Snyder watching this.
Oh, really?
Which no one needs,
Yeah.
right? In all the stuff, the fauna, the flora, the different modes of transport, the weapons, the fantasy religious animisms, the flavour of an MMORPG, right?
Right.
And if there's anything worth talking about, it's that. The script isn't, it's just more. It's not atrocious, but contains more than its fair share of B-level storytelling and dialogue. One example being, you brought me 26 trillion miles for this. That kind of deal.
Okay.
Some of the Na'vi chants and war cries and mannerisms are awkward. Fire and ash is not a terrible thing, it's just wildly inconsequential. There's a reason everyone has seen these films, apparently, yet they are absent from the cultural conversation.
Okay. I would say the fire has some pretty serious consequences.
No, Fire and Ash, the film.
I know, it's just you
being
didn't
funny.
qualify it, so...
Well, I said Fire and Ash is not a terrible thing. So you were being, by making that joke, grammatically stilly.
Stilly?
Yeah, you're being stilly and stupid.
Okay.
These films walk another fine line. Big, indulgent epics, quote-unquote, like this, could often go the way of Battlefield Earth or Megalopolis, right? If they were more poorly received or made less money, they would be considered a supreme folly. As it happens, I do think of them that way, but mostly because it's a waste of talent. A crying shame that the man who made T2 and Aliens and The Abyss has decided to focus his entire career on this franchise.
Yeah.
The last, like at the moment, is scheduled for 2031.
Right.
His last non-Pandora film was 28 years ago.
Oh,
you know?
shit. Okay.
It's not awful, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
Okay. And is that for James Cameron as well as the audience? You saying that at the end?
Well, no, it's obviously worth it for him, at least
Yeah.
monetarily, but I just can't imagine. It's like the How to Train Your Dragon guy. It's like, this is all you're going to do?
Yeah.
Like, it's a fine series, but like, you got one life, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What's it about?
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
FNAF 2.
FNAF 2. FAF 2. Too much faff. There's too much faff in this FNAF
Yes,
film.
there is.
The first one happened.
Yeah.
Now the second one is happening.
Yeah.
In the wake of the first one. There's a new Five Nights at Freddy's location, which is actually the original Five Nights at Freddy's location. And there's a new set of animatronics, which is actually an older set of animatronics behind closed doors.
Yeah.
There's also an even older set of
Right.
older animatronics that look like the new ones. Not the new ones from the new location, which is actually the old location.
It's like a Tesco shelf. It's like there's
Yeah.
just, you go back, the expiry dates are closer. you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in fairness, this is kind of mirroring the convolution of the game series as well.
I'm sure.
The Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is actually a prequel And even though the animatronics are newer and seem to have more advanced technology, they're actually older versions from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But all of this stuff kind of only makes up like a fraction of the film, because most of the film is Josh Hutcherson and what's her name?
The sister or the woman?
I guess both of them.
Elizabeth Yale's the woman. Lael is the woman. I don't know the sister's name.
It's more her film, I suppose, right? Elizabeth Yale.
Yeah, she's kind of more of a co-lead.
Yeah, definitely this time. Because it was revealed in the last film that she is the daughter of Matthew Lillard.
Dark Shaggy.
Shaggy, the big villain of this series.
Yeah. Shady.
The real Slim Shady, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
So she's kind of haunted by his ghost a little bit, because of course he died in the last film. But as we it's alluded to at the end, he's not, throughout the film, it's alluded
Nothing
to
ever ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always come back, I think, is the line from the game series, which I'm sure will get mentioned.
Right, okay.
If it hasn't been mentioned already. Maybe in the first film, he's like, I always come back.
Okay. Boomerang Trotter. I always come back. Okay.
Yeah, it sells itself as a spooky haunted robot movie, but I don't think there's certainly robots in it.
Okay. I'll come to my problem with that. But I want to start by saying the popularity of FNAF, of NAF, it's hard for me to understand.
In what way?
Well, it has that Tumblr ring about it, right? Cosplaying and character artwork.
Yeah.
Where did the Tumblr girls go, by the way?
Oh,
where are they now?
They've all been swallowed up by TikTok and stuff, haven't they?
TikTok, is it? Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Maybe that's sacrilege to say in internet circles, I don't know, but Tumblr's long gone.
Yeah, so, but they had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the first game was kind of scary, but it's that one-off gimmick, no?
Well, I mean, by the time the first game was a year old, its third sequel was being brought out.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. It's
he was spitting these out very quickly once he realised he was onto something.
It's a one-off gimmick parlayed into an endless franchise.
Yeah.
I'm not discouraging creators from making money, but on a purely purist level, the game at least would have much more power for me if, not to sound like a hipster, does that still a thing, even hipster? It had some obscurity.
Okay.
Remember that creepy game where you're in a Chuck E. Cheese watching the CCTV monitor? Some relic of your childhood. There are things I remember that remain unidentified to me from when I was a kid. A scene from some slasher that I somehow saw again and again, but I've never been able to find out what it is. By the way, I don't know if you knew, the name of the mascot is Charles Entertainment Cheese. Is that something you knew?
I knew that,
yeah. Okay. That seems like a Jordan fact.
Okay.
Josh Hutcherson is not a charismatic man.
No.
This interview's been popping up recently where he talks about his difficulty in finding work after the Hunger Games. Yeah, he's a child actor that has not convincingly made the transition. The sister's no good either. And she seems a bit too old to be all, where are my friends?
Yeah, I don't know how... It might be set in the film. If it is, I missed it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long after the first one this film is set.
She looks about 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think she looks older. I think she's noticeably older than the first film, but I don't think the character is supposed to have aged at all.
Well, yeah, just not the same gap.
Yeah. But so there are certainly moments, where she seems to be obsessing over her friends, as she calls them, which is the original group of animatronics.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they're trying to go for, you just feel bad for her, and to her, she's innocent mind, so they are just her friends, or whether it's meant to be the creepy kid, I want my friends. It doesn't feel like they were doing that necessarily.
Well, she's a sympathetic character, and at the end of the film, when she gets, spoiler alert, when she gets possessed by Charlotte, I think is the name of the girl from the beginning. I think you're supposed to feel threatened by that.
Yeah.
It's a threat that this girl's now being possessed and we might lose her.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she's meant to be an antagonistic force. I just mean kind of playing off that thing of a kid going, well, can't you see my friend? He's right here. What?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like they were doing that. But either way, she's too old for both.
Yes.
Yeah. 12, 13 is you're a bit beyond that.
Especially when they go back to the original location and he's like, well, you can't see your friends ever again, but we'll take something with us for you to remember them by.
Right.
And it has that little speak and spell thing.
Yes.
And it's would a 12-year-old...
No.
Is this appropriate? I don't... It does... a lot of it felt awkward.
It's a bit weird, yeah. And Matthew Lillard seems like a likeable guy in life, and he's a good Shaggy. But I gotta say, when Tarantino slammed him recently, I didn't entirely disagree.
Oh, right.
I think there is an awkwardness to his acting a lot of the time.
Okay.
So while the film hardly brings out the best in Elizabeth Lale, in the acting vacuum around her, it was actually refreshing when a person was on screen.
Okay. Right.
Freddy Fazbear is an annoying name. It still is.
Okay.
It should be Fazbear, and we all know it.
Why Fazbear?
Plus, it's spelt wrong, and we all know it. It's like Rami Malek in Nuremberg, and you know it! That's how I feel about Fuzz, because it's a bear.
Right.
Fuzzbear. Fuzzy bear.
Fuzzy bear.
What's Fazbear? That's nothing.
It's Fabulous Bear.
So do you work for Five Nights at Freddy's?
No. No, I just, yeah.
Okay, devil's advocate.
Yeah.
It's just more, right? And God, it's dull as ditch water, this film.
Right.
The animatronics are just not scary in the slightest.
Yeah, okay.
And this is what I was alluding to earlier when you said it's supposed to be a spooky robot movie.
Yeah.
Robots aren't spooky. They're just not.
Well, they're intimidating, right? That's
Intimidating,
what they're going for.
yes, but not scary. Intimidating in the way that, like, Godzilla is, fuck, there's a problem.
Yeah.
But not like, ooh, gives me the chills.
Like when you've got that scene where Josh Hutcherson is basically playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2, where he's sat in the office,
Yeah.
and the animatronics are lumbering towards him down the corridor.
Right.
And they're slow, and they're lumbering, and you can hear, like, these thousands of moving parts inside them.
But that should be sinister.
But that's
Yeah.
like they're clearly going for, oh, they're these big hulking beasts that could just snap
But
your neck.
lumbering slowly
Yeah.
should be chilling.
Yeah.
And they're not chilling because they're robots.
Okay.
Do you know? Like, robots aren't creepy.
Well, I guess
can't be creepy
what's
if you're
supposed to be creepy about them is that they're like animals.
But I think it's
They're like there's a lifelessness to them.
I suppose it's whatever you attach to the term. Like, creepy to me, Insidious, right? It's
Okay.
not the film franchise. I mean, another word expressing the same thing. You know, it's a robot is dangerous, but it's not going to freak me out in that way. It's not going to send a shiver down my spine. It's going to just make me panic.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's clearly trying to tap into... Because there is something creepy about those old Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, isn't there?
I don't think so.
Well, a lot of people do.
Yeah. Maybe this is me, but I don't find animatronics creepy.
Okay.
They don't have that quality to me.
Okay. I think there's an uncanniness to them because they're made...
Okay.
It's not quite the same thing as clowns, but I think it's tapping into something very
And dolls,
similar.
and maybe I need to see actual animatronics. I
Yeah.
would say the ones in the film certainly aren't scary.
It's interesting because even though I think they've done a very good job at translating the looks of those animatronics, and you've got to bear in mind that the original games are basically just a set of photographs.
Yeah.
I think that the looks have been translated very, very well, but they haven't translated the horror in the slightest.
But that's like faithfulness is it's a neutral precept.
Well, no, because I think the faithfulness it's where they're not being faithful that's letting them down.
But you would agree that faithfulness, like fundamentalism, is a neutral thing in and of itself.
In and of itself, certainly.
Yes, are you being faithful to something that works? Because then if you're not, then...
It clearly worked in the games, at the very least the first one, because
maybe
this
the first
franchise
one.
wouldn't be here if the first one wasn't a success.
You're right. Nothing bad ever gets made more. You're correct about that.
But I think...
I was being sarcastic, Jordan.
Okay.
Of course, there are loads of things that are rubbish that they keep making.
Right.
But I take your point, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like a little indie project that came out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like when this guy Scott Cawthon was like at the end of his tether. He'd made many, many games before. All of them had failed. And he made one game that was supposed to be a kid's game, which got absolutely slammed. And there's one famous review where the guy is like, they look like lifeless animatronics.
Yes.
And he went, right, I got one more go before I need to pack this whole video game thing in.
Right.
And do something else with my life. Fuck it, I'll lean into the lifeless animatronic thing. And thus Five Nights at Freddy's was born.
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, people who bought Five Nights at Freddy's, because now we have this. Now I have to watch Five Nights at Freddy's too. And I know there's a bit of tension here because I don't know, you're not a fan of the franchise necessarily, but you kind of respect, you're a fan of his story.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the story, and so by extension... I
root for him.
I will continue to follow the franchise.
Yeah.
Out of a kind of respect.
And yes, whereas I resent that it exists.
Okay.
Right? I don't care about his success story. I don't know who he is. I don't care about him. But yeah, like I said, there is an interesting concept to that first game where it's... But then I think that it's a one and done, right? Like, if you're going to expand it, you have to kind of radically alter what the thing actually is. You can't do the watching CCTV thing. Which I think more than once.
I think he tried because the first game, you sat in an office.
Yeah.
you're watching them on the cameras, and then when they get to you, you can close the doors to stop them from coming in.
Yeah.
But you have to manage your power. Because if you just close the doors, you'll run out of power and they'll get you.
Yeah.
In the second game, there are no doors. You only have the light and the mask, which makes a brief appearance here in the film, to kind of trick them into thinking that you're one of them.
Okay.
So they won't attack you. But there are certain animatronics that don't work for. And then there are other ones which require, like the puppet, which is sort of the main villain here, like the thing in the box. You have to keep the music box wound to kind of mollify it, and again, that kind of is translated into the plot of this somewhat.
Laboured.
The what?
Laboured. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like one of the reasons that they're not scary here is that they seem to have given them like bright glowing eyes.
Yeah, same problem with Pennywise, actually.
Yeah.
In, the new Pennywise.
I mean, when you're in that case, you said that the reason it doesn't work for Pennywise is because it makes him too inhuman.
Yeah.
With here, I think the problem is when the animatronics are active, their eyes are glowing. So when the eyes aren't glowing, you know you're totally safe.
Yeah, and that's not a rule they break, right?
Yeah.
So it codes like, well, I'm fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also in the games, like I said, the games they're made up of still images. So you'll look at a CCTV camera and it'll be completely clear. And then you'll look back at that camera and there'll be an animatronic there.
Yeah.
It's like the Weeping Angels. It came out of nowhere, and once it's on camera, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
So you know that when you're not looking, these things are moving and they're thinking and they're active.
Sure.
Until you look at them. Whereas in the films, they're moving around, and in this film, they're even talking, and it's like they're becoming too like we kind of know too much about them.
Yes, they're not shielded enough in obscurity. Yeah. Well, absolutely.
And also the puppet in this, which is kind of the main, like it's kind of alluded to that the puppet's the main villain, because she gets her own little sequence in the beginning where the girl gets murdered like on her stage, and then it kind of lifts her up, and her spirit, the girl's spirit, Charlotte's spirit, goes into the puppet.
Yeah.
And I think I said to you, like, if the whole thing of the first film was the animatronics are possessed by the dead kids and that's a tragedy, they're being manipulated by Afton, by Matthew Lillard's character, but it's tragic that they're children trapped inside these animatronic bodies. The second film being a vengeful child spirit that is actively trying to harm people, like her plan in this seems to be, well, because none of the parents helped me, I'm now going to kill all parents.
Right.
Fine. I think that's a decent direction to go in, actually, that you're kind of flipping the first one on its head a little bit. But they start adding all this other bullshit, and it's like, oh no, there's actually Elizabeth Lale's got a brother who's going to continue Matthew Lillard's legacy, even though Matthew Lillard is not dead, but he's also not in the film.
Yeah.
And he's actually kind of manipulating everything behind the scene, despite the fact that the puppet is acting as its own independent entity, and it's possessing the animatronics that can talk. And
yeah, I've seen 2 of these films now, and I still can't really get a handle on any of it, and I just think it's all too thin.
Yeah,
it's too watered down, and I can't actually comment on the mythology of the game or anything like that, but just the films. Yeah, what is it? What's like the not just the meat, but like what's the? And it's just them in like the abandoned Chuck E. Cheese, and the lights are off, kinda.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah, despite the fact that these are abandoned buildings that have no electricity or light in them.
Yeah, they're pretty well
I can see everything fairly clearly.
Yeah, like there's no. It's all just it's paper thin. It's all diluted.
Yeah,
I
like the convolutedness of the lore in Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, it did start out as, in the first game, any storytelling that game has is basically ambient detail.
Yeah, peripheral.
Yeah. While you're looking on the cameras, you'll see posters and news articles talking about missing children, and that's kind of all you get.
You give the audience 2 and 2.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. And then by the time you get to the more later games, there's like, it's basically science fiction.
Right.
Because like they're harvesting human souls to create this specific type of energy that's powering animatronics.
That's like fantasy. That's an uncomfortable thing as well, which you could maybe do something with that, but like robots and souls, like different genres, they don't mesh.
And the films aren't there yet.
Yeah.
It feels like they are going in that direction because these films are written by Scott Cawthon.
Yeah.
So I think he's bringing his same flavour of, I'm just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, and I'm not having a go, but it's also, when was he a screenwriter?
Well, that's the thing, yeah. He's not a writer.
Yeah.
It's very clear from the way that the direction that the games have gone in that he's not a writer.
He's a games developer.
Yeah.
He has like good ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like, how convoluted the lore gets in the games is part of the charm of the franchise, I think. But in the films, I think the films was the opportunity to kind of clear things up a little bit and streamline it.
Yeah, is it still all just him doing it, basically?
No, there are other studios involved now, but he gets final say on everything.
Of course, and that's fine, but I would say then maybe you should kind of recognise, it's the hubris, recognise, like, oh, maybe I'm the ideas guy, but then I bring in, like, a writer to do the heavy lifting and... You know,
there's actually an interview where, because one of the games that came out a couple of years ago, Security Breach, was like critically panned because it was like very badly put together.
Okay,
like there are entire challenge runs on YouTube of people like trying to play the whole game backwards,
right,
and people trying to play the whole game without encountering a single glitch and trying to complete the game without jumping. Like all of these, like it's so utterly broken you can basically do anything you want to it. But within that, there's also a lot of confusing lore details and everything. And I think there was an interview where he said that I was giving all of this information to the studio, but I wasn't telling them what the point of it all was, because in my head it was all clear.
Sure.
So I assumed they would just figure out what I meant by it. So there's like a character in Security Breach which comes back from the dead, and he was like, oh, that was only ever supposed to be like a background Easter egg detail, but they made it like the final boss.
I see. So that's quite... a miscommunication there.
Yeah, so I think he is... I don't know whether it's just that he's used to being the sole caretaker of the franchise.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why he's now writing the films on his own.
He doesn't want to hand it off. And Fine, but it's... Yeah. If you want like a really good film, you should maybe acknowledge, maybe I shouldn't write the scripts, actually.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that's a problem that comes through in the film, is that it's clearly written by someone that's a bit too in love with the characters and the franchise.
Yeah.
Because it tries to adapt everything to its detriment.
Right.
Like those withered animatronics, the prototypes that are hunting Josh Hutcherson, they're on screen for like 2 minutes, I think, throughout the whole film.
Right.
Didn't need to be there at all.
But again, we're talking about the stuff, you know? I always think of J.J. Abrams' TED Talk.
Okay.
Where he talks about Jaws, and he says, this film is one of the most ripped off films of all time.
Yeah.
But they always rip off the wrong stuff. They rip off the shark, and he shows the scene where it's Brody and his kid at the breakfast table, and he's like, give me a kiss, why? Because I need it. It's like, that's why you care about Jaws, is the shark is cool and everything, but that's why you care about it. And we're just talking about like what animatronics are in it.
But that's the thing, is that FNAF is stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it has no heart to it.
You needed a guy to come in and figure out what the thing behind the stuff was.
Yeah, what substance.
Scott Cawthon doesn't seem to know the thing behind the stuff, if indeed there is a thing behind the stuff.
He's kind of, he's focused on the superficial aspects.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why it's easy in this review, and other reviews I've seen, for people to just fall into the habit of just talking about the stuff, because what else is there other than the stuff?
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, it's paper thin.
Yeah.
And, so back to the scariness thing. It's that usual thing of any loud noise or sudden visual data is going to make you jump, right? But that's it. Like, I can't believe anyone finds them scary. I will say, I did laugh out loud at the kind of PTSD where you keep hallucinating a big animatronic bear.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like Elizabeth Earle's PTSD. She keeps seeing like a bear. And it's like, is it Fazbear? Whatever?
Oh, no, wouldn't it be...
She's like working out and she sees, like... No, she's hallucinating it.
Yeah. No, she's seeing Matthew Lillard, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But as in the costume?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny to me.
Okay.
Because they're not scary.
Yeah.
Look, it's insipid, this film.
Yeah.
Like, offensively so. And I made this note before you saw it.
Okay.
But and that note is, imagine paying money to see it.
Right.
Which you then did.
Oh, you're calling me out on that. Oh,
yes, I am.
I did. In fairness, my sister was like, do you want to go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2? And I was like, well, it's had very bad reviews.
Yes.
And she went, yeah.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay. Because it sounded like we were going to...
hate watch it.
Yeah, and I was like, I've never hate watched a film with my sister before. Okay.
That idea is perfectly sound. It's paying to do it.
We went...
Where you can't talk in the cinema.
We went...
You better not have. I don't care how bad the film is.
We went... on a 2-for-1 night. So we only half paid to watch it.
Right, okay. But you still paid to see it. One of you went to see it. No comment. Okay. Yeah, it's about as good for you as the menus at those restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Just as classy, just as artful. There's not a single memorable element to me. Up there with Old Guy as contender for blandest film of the year.
Okay.
I know you didn't hate it as much as I did. And it's not that I hate it, it's just nothing. It's just a big old nothing. You know?
I recognise that it's problems. We've discussed a few of those problems today in the review. I'm sort of in a position where I kind of feel bad for the people that do like it, or that say that they like it.
Right.
Because I wonder if it's a similar thing to the Sonic movies, where maybe like in the beginning, people were just happy to see this franchise they love get this kind of attention.
Right.
And now as time has gone on, because we said, oh, that's good, us being the fans, because they said, oh, this is a good thing, we like this thing, the people behind it are going, well, we'll just give you more of the same then. It's like, well, no, we want it to be better.
Yeah.
We want you to actually improve. We don't need to just, like, put in...
Look, I understand...
your level of effort you're putting in at the moment.
The pride you can have as a fan if the thing you like gets an award or some sort of recognition or whatever, right? But I don't understand, really, this thing about, oh, I love Sonic, and so the fact that it's now been kind of legitimized or something by becoming these big movies... Why do you care? You were already a fan.
Yeah.
Why do you need this legitimization? Do you know what I mean? It's like Psycho was remade in 1998, right? With Vince Vaughn. A shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah.
Because the director loved Psycho.
Yeah.
Gus Van Sant. Like, then why are you doing this? It's already there.
Yeah.
You already have the Five Nights at Freddy's games. You already have... why do you need these big movies to be good and... Like, like not acknowledging they're bad. That's just like, that's fanboy stuff, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't know what, you already have it. You own it. Like, and for me, maybe I'm just the kind of fan that, again, maybe that hipster thing comes back. It's not that I don't want many people liking it. I want more people, but like, I'm happy for it to be this little thing that's kind of just for me as well at the same time, you know? Maybe. Also, anyone that's willing to sit down and watch it, The Leftovers. Yeah. But I kind of like the fact that that's no one knows what that show is.
The Shield as well.
The Shield
it's
as
like,
well, yeah.
I'll always have that in the chamber, but at the same time, it's kind of nice knowing that like we're one of the few people that know of that great show.
Absolutely.
Know? I wonder if in this case it's slightly different though, because both Sonic and Five Nights at Freddy's, they're video games.
Yeah.
So maybe for people who are fans of those franchises, it's like, oh, I finally get to experience this with people that are not willing to play video games.
Right.
Kind of like The Last of Us. Like my mother would never sit down and play The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But she watched it with my sister and they both enjoyed it together.
Right.
So it's like, oh, that was her way of experiencing that story.
That story, yeah, but she's not experiencing the video game. She's watching a TV show. That has nothing...
No, exactly, but she gets to experience The Last of Us. I'm thinking of...
But she's not.
But she is.
She's not. She's experiencing an adaptation of it, and she couldn't care less about what the original thing is.
No.
As is going to be the case with most people who view Sonic.
But if
Kids
you do
don't
care about
game.
the original thing,
yeah,
you now get to share a version of that original thing with someone...
Share a version of it.
Yeah.
But also, isn't it inevitable in these fan communities that nothing's ever good enough anyway? So, like, you love the thing you originally love, then anything that's not that is letting it the side down in some way.
Yeah, I mean, there are people...
Toxic fandom, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. There do seem to be a lot of people... I say a lot of people, I don't know specifically what the division is, but there seem to be people that are praising Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Right.
There also seem to be a lot of people... within the fan community as well that are saying, what the fuck was that? You need to get your shit together for the third one.
I think it's because the primary... The guiding ethic is faithfulness, right?
Okay.
It's very... With these like hardcore fan communities, yeah, you get that split of whatever's connected to it I'm gonna love. Like, I don't care... You had a friend, right, who was into Marvel, and they were like... Look, I don't care what they do.
Yeah,
he
said that, and then the next time I had a conversation with him a few months later, he wasn't even watching Marvel. He wasn't keeping up with it.
But we know those people do it, like, it's vaguely connected. And then there are people that like, no, I love this book. Whatever, nothing will ever measure up to it.
Yeah.
You get both. But the guiding principle does seem to be, how faithful is it? Like, oh, this wasn't like the book at all. It's very rare that I see someone emerge out of that going, yeah, but as a film fan, it's not a good film.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's they don't break out of that little cul-de-sac of like, does it well represent the original property? It's like, yeah, you know what? It's like it's an unfaithful adaptation, but it's like a really good film.
Yeah.
It's rare that you hear that, you know? Anyway, I didn't like it.
Okay.
I don't think you did either. Just maybe not as...
No, I didn't, considering that, as you pointed out, I paid money to see it.
Yeah.
Like, before we went to see it, I was hearing people saying, like, oh, this is awful. One of the worst films of the year. No doubt about it. But at the same time, I was like, well, the people that said... It's kind of a similar thing that happened with Tron Ares.
Is this sunk cost fallacy?
No, it's
because
really not.
You paid to see it?
I have not paid... Well, I was going to say I've not played a single game, even though I have followed the franchise.
It's because you paid to see it in the cinema. You had to like it a bit.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's that.
No. Folded his arms down.
I think it's a bit like Tron Ares, where a lot of people are saying this is one of the worst films of the year, and I think we reviewed that and we went, well, it's not. It's not a good film, but you haven't watched the worst films of the year. I feel a bit like that with this. Where it's like, yeah, it's a bad film.
Okay.
Worst of the year, or one of the worst of the year? I don't know if I'd go that far.
See, I would.
Okay.
And I have watched all those other things.
Because of its blandness.
Blandness.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's technically better than a lot of film.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not in that way. And it's acting, it's like... like I said, they're not charismatic performers, but they're not embarrassing. It's not that kind of bad. You know?
Yeah.
It's a professional film and everything. It's just incredibly dull.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you got to decide for yourself whether that makes it among the worst or not, right? We always have these discussions about, well, what counts? What factors make something the worst?
Yeah.
But we will do that next time.
Or will we?
As in, talk about why we rank things a certain way.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm not saying it will necessarily be represented, but I'm not saying it won't necessarily be represented either.
We're close enough now. We've got to be vague about it.
I know, yeah. Okay. The war between the land and the sea.
The shape of water between the land and the sea.
Okay. I have an alternate title that I'll come to.
Okay. So it's a spin-off of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
This is the spin-off that they made when they had all the Disney money.
Yes.
And now all the Disney money is gone. I don't know whether they were compelled to show it because it aired much earlier than it was.
The headline was, "Look, we're still going to get support from Disney because we made this thing now, but then we're done. The relationship's over." Basically.
Yeah. So this was made with Disney money, but it's a spin-off of Doctor Who. Much like Doctor Who, it's kind of playing a bit fast and loose with continuity because there are a lot of actors in this that have played roles in Doctor Who in the past that are playing entirely different characters.
Is it a bit like Elsbeth and The Good Wife?
Yeah, because there are also characters in this that are playing the same characters that they play in Doctor Who.
Right, okay. So it's whatever you fancy.
Yeah, because Unit is basically preserved in its entirety.
Yeah.
You've got Kate Lethbridge-Stewart and the wheelchair
That's
person.
the real connective tissue to Doctor Who. But other than that, he's mentioned.
But that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main character is Russell Tovey, who's played a different character in Doctor Who. He's not that character now.
Yeah.
In this, he's just the guy.
Yes.
Like, he works for Unit, but he just arranges the taxis.
Yes,
He's no one.
The admin guy.
Yeah. And he gets roped into a top secret mission where they have to go. They've encountered a sea devil, which is a known villain in Doctor Who. They're like waterborne creatures, basically.
Yes.
They're much like the Silurians, in which they are basically a Homo sapien type creature or a humanoid type creature that existed on planet Earth before humans came along.
Homo aqua.
Homo aqua.
Yeah.
And so when they're kind of woken up in the modern day, they think that they have they can claim ownership of Earth because, well, we were here first, even though we've been hibernating for God knows how long. They find like the body of one because it was caught by fishermen. Russell Tovey pays it like a gesture of respect.
Yes.
And when the rest of Homo Aqua show up to negotiate the return of the planet to them,
it's not that so much. It's the seas. They want the seas.
They want the seas, but they want to negotiate with humanity, and they elect Russell Tovey as their ambassador, as humanity's ambassador, because he was nice to one of the dead creatures.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not quite as bad as Doctor Who.
No, I think we should open with that. It's better than the last two seasons of Doctor Who.
It's boring.
Yes.
And sanctimonious sermonizing about the environment. It's dumb. It's a tonal mess. It's woke. It's awkward.
Well,
but it's not quite as bad as Doctor Who.
It's a show written by Russell T Davies in the 2020s.
Exactly. Russell Tovey plays it with a goofy immensity.
He does, doesn't he?
He's very big. He's such a fucking oaf in this show. He's always talking like that and crying like that. What is he doing?
That's not him, right? Like, he's capable of that.
I don't know. I don't know if this is just what his acting looks like when he cries and how he sounds and everything. But I have liked him in other things before, and I've liked him quite a lot in those things.
Yeah.
Like Him and Her, he's very good. Looking, Years and Years.
Being Human? Was he like this in Being Human?
I never saw Being Human.
You never saw it, okay.
But, and like Years and Years is a Russell T Davies show as well. I don't know what happened here. All I can imagine is that he's pitching it up for a broader audience.
Which might be the case, because this doesn't feel like it's aiming to the same demographic as Doctor Who. It feels like it's pitching itself slightly older. I imagine like the original Torchwood did.
No, but I mean, he's pitching it for younger, isn't he?
No, but that's my point. It's because the show is pitching itself older, and it's much more like serious and a lot less fun.
Yes.
Maybe he's doing what he's doing to contrast that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm generally fine with Gugu and Mbatha-Raw, but for one thing, I think she was just too buried in the makeup.
Yeah.
Not that it was like offensively excessive, it just felt like you had to look through it for the performance, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't help that she's often playing it without emotion. Her character Salt does, however, transition from Daenerys Targaryen to Luna Lovegood, all prancing and cheaping about.
As soon as he bangs her, she turns into like this. Yeah.
It's like the Fox video.
Yeah.
You know, she starts doing that.
Fucking stop.
Yeah, shut up.
If I knew you were going to be like this, I wouldn't have shagged you.
Exactly.
Jesus.
And I think transition is an apt verb for this show.
Okay.
It has that post It's a Sin, Russell T Davies politics. Tovy's daughter is non-binary. And at the centre of it all is the blossoming romance between Tovey and Salt, for which the obvious comparison is The Shape of Water. A more provocative and frankly more accurate title for this show would be The Rape of Water.
Okay, that's your contribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, there's not much in the way of war. There's much discussion in the first half about ending the conflict before it's too late, but for the longest time, it's not that at all. It's just frosty get-togethers.
Yeah.
If by conflict they mean difficult diplomatic meetings, sure, but it's certainly not open combat.
No.
In one meeting, Salt alters her appearance to appear male so as to be more assertive, thereby undercutting Davis' entire worldview.
Yeah.
More annoying politics. There's a running thread common to woke folk that the kids know best. There's a thing about we used to call them sea devils, but we're better than that now. Firstly, the self-congratulation, like correcting for older.
Yeah.
Secondly, we didn't know they existed. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And thirdly, are we really saying the sea devil is the nigger of fish? Moreover, why didn't the fish folk emerge when we started poisoning the oceans? It's a bit,
did they think, oh, they'll stop, don't worry.
Yeah, it's a bit unreasonable to expect us to bang a Yui when we're piloting a supertanker.
Yeah.
You know? Characters allude to a conspiracy Davis literally decided to call the Great Replacement Theory.
Right.
In my notes, it just says, Russell, fuck the fuck off. The domestic terror thing where they spray H2O on the ground, it's like the novel Wicked, right? Applying that serious business to a silly universe.
Yeah.
It'll be the Teletubbies next. There'll be a flag adorned with Tinky Winky's face with that red-black fascist hue, you know? The tone is way off. Tovey does seem like he's aiming younger, but this can't be a PG. Not a 15, but not a PG.
Yeah.
Because bombs blow people up, people get shot, the Prime Minister drowns. It's very misjudged, tonally. Some smaller points. I hate Kate Lethbridge Stewart.
Oh, okay.
She's such a smug-faced, I know best twat. She really is.
Yeah, the show doesn't seem to paint her that favourably by the end. Like,
well, it wants you to like her.
Well, it seems to, but then, like in the last episode, because she's been awake for so long and she lost a guy that she was sleeping with, so now she's like, oh, she's got skin in the game.
Yeah.
They keep trying to remove her from her position, and she keeps manipulating and blackmailing people into staying. Like, the therapist is like, I have to report this. Like, you were someone tried to assassinate you.
Yeah.
You're not fit for duty. And then Kate Lethbridge Stewart is basically like, oh, well, here's all of these like secrets that you have that I know about. I'll reveal them if you take me out of my role.
Yeah, but you're meant to be on her side because she's the one person that actually has a conscience about the whole thing.
I don't know.
When she blackmails the Prime Minister, because he's in on it, right? And she's
the Prime Minister, I get. But when it's just someone doing their job.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay.
I don't agree. Like, yeah, I hate her.
Okay.
The fish luring, capturing, and eating dogs. Like that, it comes toward the end, and that sequence is basically presented as a moment of levity.
Yeah.
Like a funny way of depicting the escalating hostilities. I'm sorry, the fish are meant to be not just like somewhat sympathetic, but really the heroes of the show.
Yeah.
Is there any coming back from them eating dogs?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the whole thing, they're being kind of unreasonable.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the idea is that we're supposed to be coming from a position of, well, it was their planet first.
We're supposed to be coming from a position of humans are bad for the planet.
Yeah.
Like we're just poisoning the oceans.
Like we just showed up and kind of fucked everything up, and they have a point.
Yeah.
But then when they're like, yeah, no, not just all of the water, but all of the skies above the water are ours.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's kind of not reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, when it's like, you ate our dogs, and they're like, well, you eat our fish. It's like, no.
It's meant to be an equivalence, yeah.
It's not an equivalence because a dog is literally a higher form of species than a fish.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know what relationship they think.
Is it not a sin to see an ant the same as a man? We'll come to that later.
Okay. But no, as you point out, it's not just the... Oh, they do that little thing as well where Is it the Vietnamese ambassador?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go on record and saying that eating dogs is wrong is racist.
Right.
And it's like, okay, then why did Russell put that in there? Because it's dismissed immediately.
It's just a gag.
Well, that's the thing. Units are like, yeah, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But by Russell's own worldview, we should be respecting the fact that they think that eating dogs is...
Yes.
But
again,
he immediately
in another
it.
breath, he could be saying the opposite thing. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but as you're right. It's not an equivalent because a dog it's more intelligent and it's more...
Yes.
It's a sentient being. Most fish are not sentient beings.
Instinctive. We have intuitions about why it's not eating a beetle if you're starving in the rainforest. It's not the same as cooking your golden retriever.
Yeah.
There are differences, and we understand that.
Yeah.
They keep throwing the word severance around. You can't do that anymore.
No, yeah.
We're beyond that. There's a Lemon Collie cover of Heroes, Bowie's Heroes, which, how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
But at least it's not the original. At least Stranger Things did that, though, at the very end.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of it is just cringeworthy, like him shouting after, "You will never swim alone!" Him screaming underwater like a pillock, running around the surf, throwing his boxers.
Yeah.
He's such a fucking spaz in this, he really is. And then finally them frolicking underwater. I was alone watching it and I think I blushed.
Yeah.
Like, that's how uncomfortable it was.
I watched it with my parents.
Oh, no.
Well, we might have, because we reviewed The Legend of the Sea Devils when it came out, which was a Jodie Whittaker special.
Yeah.
And I think I said at the time, my father is a big fan of the Sea Devils.
Right.
They're like, as far as he's concerned...
Yeah, the original ones.
Yeah, the original John Pertwee monsters. Like, he never understood why they didn't bring those back.
Right.
Because he's coming at it from a place of nostalgia, obviously.
Yeah, of course,
he was oh, they were terrifying. They were great villains. They should bring those back.
And then the BBC told him that he was racist to call them sea devils or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we watched it together because it's like, oh, it's the Sea Devils, it's Doctor Who. Of course we're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, they released the first 2 episodes together.
Yeah.
Then the following week, they released the next 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. And then the next week, there were only 5 episodes, so we got the last one.
Yes.
So we had to wait for that last episode, didn't we? It was like a very...
Yeah.
Not the best release schedule to follow.
No.
But, yeah, we watched the first 2 episodes together, and we were like, okay, it's better than Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Willing to see where this goes. What's the next 2 episodes? Okay. I don't know where they're going to go with this or how they're going to wrap this up. And then the last episode, there was silence in the room when it ended.
It did kind of lose me a bit. Like, I was, as soon as Russell Tovey's with his daughter and he puts her in the car and he's like, oh, take them somewhere. I was like, oh, right. They're doing that again. I don't think non-binary is ever going to be able to be in a thing, and it's not going to be a problem for me.
Okay.
Because it always feels tokenistic.
Right.
And for a token for a thing that doesn't even exist, like a ghost arcade or something.
Okay.
Russell T Davies has written gay characters for a long time, like always, since Queer as Folk, but it's only in the last few years that his writing has become faggy. Is how I would put it, like, offensively enough. Yeah. Queer as Folk is not a faggy show. This is a faggy show.
Okay.
In
its
enough said.
Flamboyance? Because I'm going to call this a flamboyance
No,
show.
not fun, but it's hard to describe, isn't it? But gay, not all gays are fags.
Okay.
This is not. This show is faggy. I kind of don't want to say more about it than that. It's
Okay.
just, you know it in your bones, I'm trying to think of it, a faggy gay and a non-faggy gay.
Right.
And Stephen Fry is a non-faggy gay.
Okay.
And I'm not just talking about flamboyance. It's faggy. All's fair is faggy.
Okay.
We'll come to that in a bit.
Yeah, we certainly will.
That's all I got to say about the war between the land and the sea.
Okay.
Do you have anything
Doesn't
else?
sound like it's a recommendation. From
Absolutely not.
No, yeah, it sort of doesn't... By the end, it certainly hadn't justified itself to me.
No.
It's like, why is this?
It's a love story is what it is that it's called.
Yeah, like it positioned itself as if it's going to be some like political thriller
Yeah.
in the world of Doctor Who, and like you said, it ends up being a love story.
Yeah.
It also reaches a level of threat where the Doctor would have shown up by now.
Sure.
There's no reason the Doctor wouldn't be involved in it. A whole species gets genocided almost. The Doctor would show up for
Right.
that.
Also, different point.
Okay.
Russell Tovey is a gay actor
Yeah.
playing a straight character,
Okay.
and I would suspect that Davis would not be okay with the reverse.
Oh, a straight guy playing a gay character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things. I feel like there's been a few things this year where I've been like, hang on, is that allowed?
Right.
Yeah, I guess this would be one of them where, he's playing a straight. Well, is he straight because he also fucks a fishwoman?
But she's a woman.
Okay.
No, he's not normal. But he's.
There's something off with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of that. I think.
Okay.
Sick of that now. Marty Supreme.
Okay.
What's this about?
God.
Just the basic setup. You don't have to do every plot beat.
Okay. Marty Mauser
Yep.
is the name of the main character played by Timothée Chalamet. Based on a real guy?
Yes.
Okay. Don't know the name of the real guy.
Very loosely.
Very, very loosely based on a real guy.
I read a tiny bit, and the real guy would go to these clubs and pretend to not be very good at ping pong and kind of con people out of their money and everything.
Right, okay.
That's one thing I know that they did. Other than that, I don't know how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. It's loosely based on a real guy who is a ping pong player.
Yes.
He goes to a tournament, an international tournament in London for ping pong, because ping pong is just about to break into America. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, by winning this tournament, I'm already going to be at the top of the food chain. So he's kind of riding high, and he's all smug, and he's a braggart and all that kind of stuff. Then the tournament doesn't quite doesn't quite go his way.
Yeah.
So he has to kind of earn his reputation back by going to the next international tournament. But in order to get there, he needs money.
Yes.
Insanity ensues.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's Josh then.
Yeah, I think I said to you once we walked out of the cinema, because we went to see this one. And this one, we did the right thing by paying money to go see it.
We did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I said to you, like, if you're Benny Safdie and you're watching a screener of Marty Supreme...
Yeah, I don't think we said. It's Josh Safdie.
Yeah, Josh Safdie, yeah.
After the brothers are now parted.
Yes.
Yes, Benny gave us the Smashing Machine and Josh has given us this.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you're Benny Safdie, you're watching a screener for Marty Supreme, at what point do you turn to your brother and go, you son of a bitch, and walk out of the cinema?
I probably think you just wouldn't talk or look him in the eye.
Okay.
Right? You go like, I feel shame. And
yeah.
No, I said to you, like, as soon as we left, the first thing I said was, so it's Josh then.
Yeah.
But also, Benny can be, because he acts as well, he can be the famous one and Josh can be the talented one.
Okay.
I'm not saying Benny, look, we have one film each to go off, right?
Yeah.
You can't write off Benny Safdie. But no, this, because we can now see the Coens, they've split, and we're able to sort of, you try and detect what each brought to the table. Same with Gervais and Merchant. Like, okay, so what was each bringing?
Yeah.
And it feels like Josh was bringing all of it. Right?
Yeah.
We're off to the races with a title sequence reminiscent of the Opal to Colon voyage from Uncut Gems.
Okay.
Right? Here it's insemination, the egg becoming a ping pong ball. Just before that, we get the first of the film's many weird and wonderful non-actor cameos. Marianne from Brooklyn, mother of the whack pack on the Howard Stern show. That was a jolt to the system, I have to say. It's an indication that it's a very New York film.
Yeah, there's something, and this is something that was present in the previous Safdie projects, which again, it seems to be Josh's influence.
Yes.
Based purely on this film.
Yeah.
They seem to pair famous lead actors with
non-actors.
A supporting cast of non-actors.
Yes.
And for some reason, it just works.
It really works, yeah.
Because Timothée Chalamet in this is giving a pretty good performance.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think you would know who was professional and non-professional.
Yeah.
You know Gwyneth Paltrow, you know Chalamet.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would know. And I think I might have some, like, little bombshells to throw you away on that front.
Okay. Well, I know that the guy, Gwyneth Paltrow's husband in this, he's not an actor. He's like a billionaire, isn't he?
The bombshell, maybe not so much then. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not an actor. He's
No,
just a guy
I
with
didn't
money.
know who he was.
Yeah.
I don't know the Shark Tank people. I would have guessed he was an actor.
Okay.
I didn't recognise him, but that should have been a clue. But, like, he's a guy who I thought, he's probably just like a New York theatre guy. If there's like a secondary lead, it's him, I suppose.
Yeah. So I would have said that, like, so what they're doing is they're kind of funneling all the acting talent into the leads because they're the people we spend the whole film with. And then for the supporting cast, they're just getting people that are those people in real life.
Right.
So that it lends the film a level of authenticity.
Yes.
Because they're not having to act. They're just like, that guy is just being that guy.
But that's not true.
But then Penn Jillette shows up as a farmer, and it's like, hang on, why on earth would you cast Penn Jillette as a farmer?
A dangerous,
abrasive guy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But very quickly, just going back to the New York thing, Josh Safdie probably grew up on Stern, right? And I would submit it's the latest great New York film.
Okay.
It's a proper New York movie, you know? It's clearly been put together by a native.
Yeah.
And then other pop-ups, include Philippe Petit, who is not a New Yorker, but walked between the Twin Towers.
Okay.
He shows up for a cameo.
Yeah.
Film director Abel Ferrara, best known for Bad Lieutenant. He plays the criminal that wants his dog back.
Okay, yeah.
Fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi. I look like I'm interrupting something.
Oh, I liked him.
Yeah.
He was great.
And just a couple of New Yorkers that went viral, including a homeless guy who has a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And a diehard Knicks fan that's kind of famous online.
Okay.
The latter, him, is Dion, Marty's large friend.
Yeah, he was great.
A highlight for both of us.
Yeah.
It's a rich tapestry of New York characters, right?
Yeah.
And alongside them, a David Mamet, Penn Jillette, like you said, Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, as his friend.
Yeah, who's really good as well. And Kevin
Well, is he
O'Leary.
really good, or is he just playing himself?
Well, I don't know what he's like, but he's good in it. You know?
Is that the thing where they just cast a guy who just is that guy normally, so it feels really credible when you see him on screen?
I can't imagine he's that guy normally.
No,
it's peppered with non-actors, but not because they're just playing themselves.
Yeah.
They're still being cast as, everyone's great.
Yeah.
And they look like people.
but that's a nice thing as well. Is obviously Chalamet and Gwyneth Paltrow, they're Hollywood people.
Yes.
So there's, even though they've been scruffled up a little bit, less so her because she's playing a glamorous movie star.
Yeah.
But certainly Chalamet, he gets quite disheveled during this film. The rest of the cast, they really just look like people.
Yeah.
Like people that you wouldn't think would look good on camera, but that's kind of why they look great on camera.
they're not the faces you see on the big screen.
Yeah.
Interesting contours.
Yes.
Right? No frills. And complemented by the close-up. It's
Yeah.
very close-up, where you can really study the topographies. Just good faces to look at. You know? This is technically a sports movie, right?
Well, there's sport in it,
No,
sure.
but it's again, not the least of it, but far from the big picture. The appeal of Marty Supreme, for me anyway, is as a perfectly imperfect film.
Okay.
It feels like an object of whim.
Okay.
Given its setup, it can't be.
Yeah.
They couldn't have riffed in the way it feels like they did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You said, it's normally a sport movie. Well, sport movies end one of two ways, right?
Right.
In fact, they always have the same final scene that can only have one of two conclusions. And it does have that scene.
Yes.
And yet, despite the fact that it's revisiting ping pong after almost 2 hours of just insanity that's not related to ping pong at all, it still managed to be like a really intense match of ping pong.
When I want to clarify, when I say perfectly imperfect, that is in no way to demean the film.
No.
What I mean by that is it's not great in the way that something like Parasite is, where it's structure and it all connects. This is they just let a guy go off and do a thing.
It's like when you're listening to a song and you can tell that the person who wrote that song just enjoyed that song.
Exactly.
Because it keeps going and there are all these different measures and themes coming in. And that's what Marty Supreme is.
It creates a feeling of improvisation.
Yeah.
Right? The script, the editing, and the naturally natural nature of the performances. In microcosm, the honey scene with Geza Rurig.
Oh, yeah.
It goes nowhere.
Yeah.
I suppose its significance and meaning is up for debate, but it's a flight of fancy, and one I wouldn't cut for anything.
Yes.
This feeds into, as well as a great New York movie, it's an unabashedly proud Jewish movie.
Okay.
When he gives his mother a piece of the pyramid, we built that, the pride.
Yeah.
And because Josh Safdie is a Jew, he can get away with giving Tyler, the Creator, dialogue don't be greedy, you fucking Jew.
Yeah. Also, the main character casually bringing up, Auschwitz and Hitler and...
He says, I'm going to do to this guy what Auschwitz didn't. I'm going to finish the job.
It's a proper...
You can say it if you're a Jew.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
But even though it's it's okay because, he's Jew, it still manages to have some edge to it.
Oh no, yeah, you and the people in the film go, okay, Jesus,
yeah.
Loath as I am to admit it, Timothée Chalamet delivers the movie performance of the year.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we can't deny that, can we?
We can't deny. The character is actually annoying, but that's marshalled into his strength, right?
Yeah,
he's gauche, he wants to order the most expensive thing on the menu because it's the most expensive thing on the menu.
Yeah,
he's selfish. And his skill at his craft endows him with a radical self-belief that has the character of a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Right? His vanity seems to jibe with some things that Chalamet himself has said, but you kind of have to ignore that stuff, really. He's very proud of his performance, and the truth is, he should be.
Yeah.
We don't know if or how much of a compromise the Smashing Machine was, but we do know that Benny Safdie was hired by Dwayne Johnson to make it. Right?
Okay.
This feels like a pure organic exhalation from the being of Josh Safdie.
Yeah.
And he's brought Chalamet into his world.
Yes.
Right? There's a scene toward the end where Marty is forced to humble himself by allowing the millionaire to spank him with a paddle.
Yes.
The people in the cinema were laughing at that.
Okay.
And they were rejoicing when he won, right? Spoiler alert. They were scared for him when things got testy. I found all that really interesting. It points towards a satisfying ambiguity around that character. The film knows much of his behaviour is toxic, but it also roots for him. You can legitimately cheer for him like he's ping-pong Rocky, or, as I did, feel more ambivalent about it all and more conflicted in the moments of triumph.
Is the film imposing any opinion on him at all?
It's a non-judgment. It's a grown-up, non-judgmental film.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad he wins, but I also think he's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Ultimately, it seems that he can only be a good person and magnanimous when he gets what he wants. And so the ending, where he sees his child for the first time and breaks down in tears.
A child that he's denied is his all through the film.
Denied paternity the whole time.
Yeah.
And he breaks down in tears. Make of that what you will.
Okay.
Right? I don't think it's as clear as it might seem. An ending accompanied by Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Yes.
On top of another great Daniel Lopatin score, we have Tears for Fears, Alphaville, The Corgis. The soundtrack is 80s music in a 50s set film.
Yeah, this is a period piece, which I kept forgetting that it was a period piece.
And why not, right?
Yeah.
It really gives the impression the filmmakers could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And because they're talented, it's an indulgence in the best way, which is what you said as we left.
Yeah.
And yes, it's set in the 50s, but it's a Safdie film. The period stuff does all feel accurate, but it doesn't behave like other period pieces do.
No.
And there's something really vivifying about that, that it's not shot or scored like most 50s films are. It doesn't have the full-blown anxiety of Uncut Gems, gratefully, because that's hard to take for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I've heard this described as the optimistic inverse of Good Time and Gems, like similar energies but without that spiral feeling. I don't know how much I agree with that. The slight discomfort of the seats notwithstanding, it's rare that I'm happy for a film to be 2.5 hours long, even rarer when that's in a cinema. I had no problem with this being as long as it was. It was just such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow turns in a solid performance, and I've never actually taken issue in general with her acting, but she's not a greatly respected thespian, right?
Okay.
So fascinating casting for a washed-up movie star now venturing into theatre.
Yeah.
By the by, if Josh Safdie likes theatre, you could have fooled me. Right?
Yeah, it definitely has similar energy to that scene from English Teacher,
Right.
doesn't it? Where the guy's just like, he's complaining about the kids being terrible on stage, and the other guy is like, I think this is just what theatre is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Like, the overacting, the dialogue-y dialogue, the audience applauding her hokey accent, Odessa Azion, daughter of Pamela Adlon, it turns out.
Okay.
You know Pamela Adlon?
I think I do.
From Louis?
Yeah.
That's her daughter.
All right.
Who I have found very annoying in other things, is very good.
Okay.
Here. The film is funny, it's thrilling, it's emotional, it has more heart than Good Time and Uncut Gems, it buzzes with danger and violence.
Yeah.
For me, it all comes down to that word again, electric. It's an electric film. A major surprise, and considering we're recording our best and worst of the year next, I won't jump the gun, but, it's represented.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic. And it's one of those things where, it's one of those rare examples where it's fun to kind of break things down and discuss what do you think this could mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think this is here? But it's also, like, nice to just take it as it is. Like, as a complete entity, where it's like, I'm not going to think about... Like, I think we were having a conversation about it before, and I said, do you think Gwyneth Paltrow's character was supposed to be like a...
Yes.
Analog to the Timothée Chalamet character?
Right.
Because there's moments like when she's complaining about the theatre piece she's doing all through the film, and then when she finally goes on stage and people applaud her, people that are all just like friends of her husband, so they're doing it because they think they have to.
Yeah.
She seems genuinely thrilled.
Oh yeah, as soon as you get the applause, that's like what it's all about.
Yeah.
They're just soaking up. I mean, even Chalamet says, like, you get the sense of, he does say at one point, like, it's not even really about kind of the trophies, it's about something deeper, and you're like, yeah, there's something in you that's kind of origin.
Yeah.
But equally, he says, when the sponsor says to him, I want to do an exhibition match, where he then goes on to say, I want you to lose, basically. But he says, an exhibition match. And Chalamet's like, okay, but is this before or after the World Championship where I'm playing that guy? Just because if it's before, it's going to take away the drama, and drama's important.
Yeah.
So it's about that to him. It's about the spectacle of it, and about being the winner and looking like the winner, and... Yeah, no, it's about performance.
Yeah. So there is plenty of stuff to kind of get your teeth into if you're looking at it analytically.
And it's one of those things, I feel like we've done a fairly comprehensive review. We're like, we haven't left anything out.
Yeah.
And I think everything that I have said, we said to each other after the film in like the next half an hour or so. But we still felt like, have we said enough? It's like, we should have more points about this.
Yeah.
But I think that just points to how strong the film is, where you feel like you have a lot more to say, even if you've kind of covered it.
Yeah. Like that film, Marty Supreme, it has presence to it.
Yes.
And so to not bask in that presence for a while and to give it a certain amount of attention, it feels like you're not doing the film justice.
Right, yeah. You just exist in the afterglow, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, there are characters in there that are scary. Like, oh God, what's he going to do? You know, it really it has that stuff that it buzzes with violence. It's like, ooh, yeah, don't like that. No, great.
Yeah.
An unqualified
recommendation. High recommendation.
Yeah. Pluribus. What's Pluribus about?
Oh dear. Okay. Well, it's Vince Gilligan's new show.
Yeah.
Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad fame.
Yes.
And also his contributions to Better Call Saul as well. He wasn't the showrunner for that though, was he?
He co-show ran it for the first 3 seasons.
Okay. So, but this is the first original thing he's done since Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think we were alone in thinking that there's a lot of pressure here. Yeah.
Yes.
And so what Vince Gilligan decided to do was he decided to create a show where all of humanity are combined into a single consciousness.
Yes, a hive mind.
A hive mind. So, like, there are still individual people.
Yes.
But they are all the same person.
Yeah.
And that person is a combination of all of the people that they were before they combined.
Everyone shares all memory, experience, knowledge.
Yes. Except for 13 people.
Yes.
One of them...
Most notably.
Notably is Ray Seahorn. Mm-hmm. She plays our main character, Carol Sturker.
Yep.
And she's a miserable cunt, isn't she?
Whoa.
But no, I think that's the show positions her as like...
I wouldn't call her a cunt. She's
miserable.
She's miserable.
She's a miserable lass.
Yes.
Should we go with lass? Is lass
I think cunt was a bit strong. Yeah.
Okay. She's a miserable lass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole world combines into the same person. Her girlfriend / publicist.
Maybe wife. Not entirely clear on. Yeah. But long-term partner.
Yeah, she doesn't survive the joining.
No.
So as far as she's concerned, whatever has happened has killed her wife.
Many millions and millions, 800 million, I think, died during the join. When you join, you kind of seize.
Yeah.
And so just people driving and accidents and
that first episode, it's an apocalypse basically, isn't it? Yeah,
it's very distinct from the rest of the show.
Absolutely, yeah. In a way, I think I know you'll resent this comparison.
Okay.
I think I've seen people comparing it to the first episode / first, like the prologue bit of The Last of Us.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, where it's like
but which was it's only because I can't stand that Last of Us is considered like original. That's drawing on 10,000 things.
It certainly is. Yeah.
What it's doing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It is.
That's what Pluribus is doing.
Yes. Okay. Not The Last of Us.
Not The Last of Us.
But so she's on her own now.
Yeah.
So she has to figure out what's happened and if there's anything she can do to save the planet.
Yeah. What's the world like now? Yeah. Basically, what do they want? All that kind of stuff.
We're living in the aftermath of basically the world ending.
Yeah. It just doesn't look like it.
It just doesn't look like it.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we got to start somewhere, haven't we? So let's start with the look.
Okay.
It's shot rather well.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, you know?
Yes, it is shot rather well.
Even following on from Breaking Bad and late Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Because by the end of Better Call Saul, I don't think you could have got a more cinematic... Forget show.
All of Saul is amazing.
Yeah.
But by the end...
Better Call Saul looks better than a lot of films.
Yeah, no, most, yeah. No, this looks like a movie,
Yeah. And this is somehow taken another step up.
I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily say this is an improvement over Saul. But I wouldn't dispute that.
Okay.
Because I think if you put it side by side, you might realize, Saul is actually fucking gorgeous. There's it's not something I would quibble.
We spend less time in the desert than we do in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, but we're also traveling around the globe a lot more. So I think it's allowing them to flex their muscles.
Yeah. And while there are motifs and techniques that were established in Bad and Saul, like the object POV and the time lapse, you get 1 or 2 of those. This is its own beast visually, I think, as well.
And many, many sequences of people doing things.
Exactly. It has some of the year's most gorgeous cinematography, film or TV, and yeah, I would highlight the Gap episode in particular.
Okay.
The music from Gilligan Regular Day Porter is first rate. The writing is filled with shrewd insights, informed by that wry sense of humour we're accustomed to. I think the women at the book signing was the first indication of that. The dialogue is fun and funny. Some of the more captivating elements of Gilligan shows are attention to detail and specificity and process. Yes. I've heard him speak of how we're happy to watch people of all stripes as long as they're good at what they do. Obviously, there's wiggle room here because failures can be entertaining.
Yeah.
But there's just such a unique pleasure to seeing procedure expressed gracefully and methodically and economically.
I think that little sequence in Better Call Saul where Mike, he's been hired as like a safety inspector as a cover for Madrigal. It's like a Shell Corporation. So that he's actually being paid for the work he's doing for Saul, for Gus, I think, right? By that point. But he still goes and like actually does his job as a safety inspector because that's what Mike is like.
Yes.
And that like 4 or 5 minute sequence is up on YouTube as its own clip. And I think a lot of the comments are just people going, I'd watch a whole show of Mike just being a safety inspector.
Yeah, and Saul is replete with, replete with those things.
Yeah.
In a way, this show feels like an A plus ultra of his inclinations. He's embedded his affinity into a global premise.
Yeah.
You know? I like order on screen. Okay, let's homogenize civilization then. We could just list all the individual things we liked about the season. And as tempting as that is, maybe we should stick to the broader points. The premise is the thing, really, isn't it? It's what will inspire the most conversation. It's a very long episode of The Twilight Zone meets The Truman Show, The Show, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, a little later on Soylent Green, and it knows how to comport itself. The presentation is often mysterious, especially in the early stages, but you are following it step by step, right?
Yeah.
Nobody does that kind of storytelling better than Vince Gilligan, beat by beat.
Yeah.
Just the practical realities of digging a grave. Then, right, okay, I have nothing in the fridge, right?
Wolves come and dig up the body because it's not protected.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We always know where we are. He always knows where we are, right?
They have a timer on screen to give you context of like where we are in relation
that's
to
annoying.
the events. And it's
on a personal creative level, that's annoying.
Most people would go like, oh, it's been 2 days or a week. No. He's doing it to the second.
And you know they're keeping track of what that means, right? A lot of people wouldn't be happy with my saying this, but I see him as a bedful of Damon Lindelof.
Okay.
Mrs. Davis sprang to mind many times. I don't know if it did for you. Just like that marriage of high concept with an absurd sense of humour.
Yeah.
That nonetheless takes the world seriously. That shot where she looks at the baby presumably seizing in the carrier.
Yeah.
And of course, all the balminess takes a backseat to the shit getting real when Helen dies, right?
Yeah.
It's just riveting, really.
Yeah.
It raises so many questions that I'd venture it probably can't answer. And we might need to be okay with that. That's just a might. But it does a damn good job of keeping us enough in the light.
Yeah.
In the pilot, Carol says that she finally wants to release her serious novel. She's an author and she writes trash literature, basically.
Yeah.
And I've read some people theorising that that's an analogue for Gilligan, that he's shooting for something more ambitious now. And in many ways he is. But if the man views Breaking Bad as his Vicaro, the man needs help. Seriously.
But the horrible thing is he's probably right.
No, yeah.
This is what he did after Breaking Bad.
It is more ambitious. Yeah, it is. But like, those aren't equivalent, I don't think.
Yeah.
And the more you think about it, the more you realise just how much of a high-wire act it is, right? You can't have any incidental extras because no one's hanging around.
No, yeah.
They established a precedent that if you cross a certain line, the others will en masse abandon a city.
Yes.
Each with, the sum total of all human knowledge. It demands to be an international show, and it feels like one. There's a great balance between adjusting to the circumstances and getting on with it. It's not that instant acceptance that we're used to in genre pieces. It's also a high-wire act in how open it makes itself to error and to criticism.
Yeah.
If the show didn't take its world incredibly seriously, you might roll with the punches, nitpick here and there. But then they explain why they're turning all the lights off, or how they treat dogs that remain loyal to their old owners, almost baiting you to find fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't kill animals. In fact, we don't even harvest plants.
Yeah, we can't pick an apple from a tree.
We cannot bring harm to anything or anyone.
No.
And that extends to we won't even pluck an apple from a tree.
Yes. It's so audacious.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, you're really doing this, huh?
Yeah.
You know? Because if you give an inch of logic and you make yourself very vulnerable, they give a yard.
Yeah.
And that's commendable. it might be impossible to remain pure, but they're gonna fucking try,
Yes.
aren't they? So speaking of the naysayers, its pace is deliberate.
Yeah.
Destined to offend the sensibilities of a hyper-dopamined audience. And I've seen plenty of bitching about it. All I can say is, piss off.
No, it does have a very deliberate pace. Almost to like, I mean, certainly to its credit, but there's like moments where it feels like the show is almost making a point of the fact that, no, we're going on our own pace here.
Yes, absolutely.
When you mentioned that the others abandon the city.
Yeah.
And so for a few episodes, Carol is on her own.
Yeah.
And the only way that she can communicate with them is to phone them.
Yes.
But because they don't want to speak to her directly,
yeah.
they leave a voice message for her.
Yeah.
Where it's Howard Hamlin, right? It has to be Howard Hamlin.
It is, yeah.
He basically says, "Hi, Carol, we don't want to talk to you at the moment, but we'll still do anything that we want for you because we're that fucking kind."
Yeah.
But all more politely, obviously.
Yeah.
And every time she rings him, and she rings him a lot, you hear that message in its entirety.
Yes.
Because she would hear that message in its entirety.
And sometimes she kind of puts it down on loudspeaker and just like potters about and does something else.
Yeah.
Sometimes she just stands there and listens to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, it reached a point where you and I laughed whenever that happened because it's like, I know what the show's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like it's testing your patience, but like in a kind of fun.
No, it is.
Way.
It's testing it. It's giving you a test. It's not trying to annoy you.
Yeah.
It's not trying to inflame you. It's testing your because nowadays your patience needs testing. Actually, no. Do you know what I mean? It needs strengthening. It needs expanding.
Yeah.
It needs. He's spoken a lot about. He said, I think we live in a TikTok world, and it's incredibly depressing if that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So yeah, this feels like an antidote to that. And he did a speech at the Writers Guild where he got some Lifetime Achievement Award, and he said like, we've all spent too long writing bad guys.
Yeah.
And I get it. They're more fun and all the rest of it. He said, but I think we should all try writing some good guys now because the world, there's too many real bad guys.
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do here,
Yeah, even his bad guys are good guys because they're all polite and kind and
yeah, right.
They're not gonna bring harm to Carol.
Yeah, that's something we should say is that the whole point is they just want to please the people that haven't joined.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're going to figure out how to change them. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they don't want them angry with them. They just want they want them to be happy.
Yeah, because look at what happens when they do get angry with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the opening of episode 2 crystallizes what's so great about their approach. A dialogue-free sequence of a woman doing some cleanup in Tangier before biking to an airport, getting in a plane, taxiing it and taking off. As well as
In rags.
As well as the delight of what at least looks like pure analog filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's just so rewarding to see people do things on screen.
If there is CG in this show, and there almost certainly is, because I know there was in Saul and Breaking Bad.
No, there is, yeah.
I couldn't point it out.
Same. Yeah.
Real animals, Sam.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, not just
real animals.
Not just wolves. Fucking crows.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray Seahorn is a very good grounded lead. And the lucid voice of reason most of the time.
Yes.
The other unjoined offer up the meat for the philosophical discussion, right? The question I've taken to asking people is, in that scenario, are you a Diabate, a Carol, or a Manusos?
Yes.
Right? Someone taking full hedonic advantage of the species' eagerness to please.
Yeah.
A purist that will barely look in their direction. He will not drink that Kool-Aid, and he will eat that dog food.
Yes.
Or somewhere in between, right? It's all a big massive treatise on the individual versus the collective. I know where I stand, firmly, but the show does play a good devil's advocate on occasion.
Yeah.
Like you said, we come to understand that Carol is not exactly predisposed to being happy. Or was it miserable cunt? So, why shouldn't she want to join them? It makes sense, right? There's harmony, but at what cost? It asks the big questions, as well as contending with the day-to-day nuances of the law and behaviour. What happens when two people demand opposing things of them?
Yep.
Right? It's the kind of questions we often find ourselves asking about vampires. Watch this space. For me, the evil of the joining in condensation is the goat.
Yeah.
In the finale.
Yeah, the final cold open.
Yeah.
It does a brilliant job of showing everything that's wrong with the joining without explaining it to you.
Exactly. Because they don't keep animals. Even they don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Such thing as barbaric. So Kusamayu, this Peruvian girl that wants to join and does, she frees her pet goat. And it runs after her as she abandons it with a smile of utter contentment on her face. That goat should be the mascot of the resistance.
Yes.
Basically. And a real goat. There's a couple of those scenes where
it cries.
It runs up. The camera tracks down and it like is running. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like got a good goat for that.
Some of the best acting of the year from that goat.
It's that goat.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of those scenes where they're performing and then they just drop the act as soon as the mission is complete. It's sinister. And not like they get all like,
Yeah.
They just stop, because why would they interact? So they just stop and they just start going about their admin, you know?
Yeah.
I was trying to get the nature of their malevolence down to a sentence, and it's this for me. Nothing is special, right? Because to them, everything is. It's before been expressed by Dash Pa, right?
Okay.
Which is, his mother says to him, look, everyone's special. And he says, another way of saying no one is.
Yeah.
Right? Syndrome's attempt to make everyone uniformly super, the forced conformity of unanimous excellence, overlaps with what the others are doing, right?
Yeah.
You're getting rid of specialness. I'd often think about what I would ask them, Kennedy, Area 51, all that, but would I? Like, do I really want to know? And it occurred to me that would be an interesting avenue for the show. Like, doesn't deleting ambiguity rob you one of the things of being human, like the great mystery?
Yeah.
Anyway, Carol is a proper hero, putting principle over expediency. I don't know whether her driving a police car was meant to code something.
Okay.
Like, for me, it did. The final vanguard, protecting and defending. She's the last cop, you know? And she's a realistic hero. She's torn, she gets lonely, she's exceedingly ornery, she's manipulable, she's won over, she's a hypocrite. You bring Manousos into the fray, and she starts to sound rather compromised.
Yeah.
Right? Yet he seems to think it would be better to kill everyone than to let this go on.
Yeah, he is that much of a purist.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're gone. Like, there's no saving them now.
Complexities.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't want that, I don't
Yeah.
think. He was the breakout character for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, especially when we're... Because, I mean, he's from Paraguay.
Yeah.
So
I think he's in Colombia, but he's a Paraguayan character.
He's a Paraguayan man, yeah. So he doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
When he first interacts with Carol, it's over the phone in, like, episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And they're not speaking the same language.
Yeah.
But then she sends out a video to all of the survivors saying, like, I'm starting to learn about them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put together a bit of a resistance here. And so he immediately goes and travels towards her.
Drives,
Learns English on the way so they can communicate. But they still have to... Again, like a great little microcosm of, like, the show's approach to pacing and humour and everything.
Yeah.
It's that translation device on the phone, that translation app, where it's translating... Like, even when it doesn't need to translate, it's translating. Like, when he drops it down the drain, and he's like, oh, son of a bitch.
And it's great little jokes, so she'll go, like, you know, yeah, well, stick that in your pipe, amigo. And I go, what's a friend?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it'll switch language. And,
Yeah.
And, like, when he ever says his name or her name, it goes, unknown personal name.
Yeah.
Every time.
They just note the detail. And
Yeah,
when she wrote what I know about them on her whiteboard, I just smiled ear to ear.
Yeah.
You know, it was like one of many occasions where I felt the show was made for me. Like, I know we were having the same experience, but that's what a great thing does, right? You think, yeah, but they made this for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And not to demean Carolina Wydra's quality performance, or Widra or whatever, but Zoja is indeed very fuckable.
Okay.
She's a cipher, of course. Sometimes she's sympathetic, other times she's loathsome. The smile that's constantly plastered on her face was an enduring source of amusement to me. I love just that kind of just always just, I'm so content. You just want to hit them, don't you?
Yeah.
There's Tony Soprano who's like, see a guy walking down the fucking street with a smile on his face. I just want to punch his face, you know. I should be, whatever, go for you. There's this wonderful sense of rhyme too, like both internal and external. In the second episode, Carol says, because I know that you don't ask a drug dealer how good their heroin is. And then a couple of episodes later, she's asking for heroin.
Yes.
You know, there are loads of little things like that. But as for the external, it feels like he's nodding at his other shows, other than the book on crystallography. We find another Gilligan protagonist in a skip. Like, I don't know if that was a conscious reference, but what a creative way of illustrating the distinction between the universes.
Yeah.
Sol is down and dirty, Pluribus is clean and homogenous. You know? One of the perfect balances it strikes is between comedy and drama. The scene where she watches herself on truth serum and sobbing "I miss you" repeatedly before transitioning into physical humour. Masterful.
Yeah.
Right? Gilligan is quick to downplay his own genius, claiming that much of his success is down to happy accidents. I don't know how much of that to believe, but things like the fact that Manousos would need to live on the continent so that he could actually make his way to her on land. You know?
And having to... like, account for the time that would take in Carol's story.
Yes.
So having to leave her on her own to such a degree where she is now so desperate for attention that she's willing to accept them back into her life.
Yeah, but they say to him, look, we'll fly you there, we'll fucking take your... but he doesn't want anything. It's not theirs to give.
Yeah.
So he's driving there, you know?
Yeah, they offer to... He drives his car to the Gap. Like, he drives as far as it's humanly possible to drive.
Yeah.
They go, we'll take the car across for you. And he immediately burns it.
Yeah, show you, like, that's how little...
Yeah.
I want your help. Yeah,
exactly.
But that's one individual element I would like to highlight. His journey across South and Central America. Like, that protracted sequence was just beautiful.
Yeah.
You know? In the lowest rated episode, nothing happens. All I can say is I'm so relieved it's not a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, to say the least. We don't know where it's going, and how amazing is that, by the way?
Yeah.
You just want to applaud. Like, what's the end game? What's their plan? I don't need to know soon, but I do have to take umbrage with, I don't know if you've heard about his recent statements.
No?
Saying that we're not going to be getting season 2 anytime soon.
Okay.
And given the production timeline of the first season, probably 2028.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all of Breaking Bad happened in the same window of time.
Okay.
All of it, from the start of season 2. Look, I know the results are the results, but Masterpiece TV was possible before on the old schedule. But I'm not going to end on a sour note. Let's just say that Vince Gilligan has done it again.
Yes, and if the quality of his work is a result of happy accidents,
yes,
he must be one of the most accident-prone people
yes.
on the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it really is the kind of show that inspires... Like, you have to think about it when you're not watching it.
You do.
Like, it's such a rich... Like you were kind of alluding to, so many questions pop up in the wake of it. So many questions that the show asks and deals with directly.
And usually paced really... As soon as I'm thinking, right, okay, so they've all left us... So would wild animal... Wolves, okay, cool. Yeah. They do it just the right time, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, is it the Abate, the one that's taking advantage? You know, he lives with a harem in a hotel in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas penthouse,
The way that we're introduced to that character is he's flown in on Air Force One.
Yeah. She wants to meet to everyone that can speak English, so he requests Air Force One.
Absolutely, yeah. And then at the end of that episode, like you said, he and Carol are asking for conflicting things.
Yeah.
And so Zosha can't choose.
Yeah.
They have to figure it out.
Yes.
They will not upset someone deliberately.
Yeah.
There's a cameo from John Cena in this,
there is.
as a joined individual.
But that's another thing. I was thinking, I wonder if there would be celebrities. And the reason I was thinking that was because she goes to Vegas to see Diabate. And I'd probably ask for Margot Robbie and a few, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But, you know, that would be, if I was going to ask for anything, it would be that. And then, John Cena pops up.
He does.
In a very different way than I would ask for Robbie.
What's the words? Yeah. What's the word he says where you were like, I never thought I'd hear John Cena say that word?
It's another word for cannibalism,
okay.
I think. Like homo-autophagy or something like that. It's, it's a variation on cannibalism.
Yeah.
So never thought I was going to get that scene. But he sells it. He's getting good, Cena. I gotta say, the older he gets, he's getting better.
Yeah, he's learning.
Yeah.
Take a page out of his book, The Rock.
Yeah. Okay, I think that I could go on for hours, but...
Yeah, it's another strong recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for... Well, I'll say it's just for the timeline, for the timestamp thing. All's fair.
Okay.
Right. I'm sorry for bringing your attention to it.
You're talking to me now?
Well, everyone. I'm sorry for bringing the show to your attention. I'm sorry for bringing the show to the listeners' attention. I'm sorry it's going to be as long as it is. But hopefully you'll understand why.
Okay.
What's it about?
All's Fair?
Yeah.
It's nominally about
yes.
an all-female divorce firm.
Yes.
Bunch of lawyers. Kim Kardashian is the lead.
Yep.
Again, nominally is the lead. Also, we've got Kate Hudson. No?
No.
Kate. No.
No.
Who?
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts. I don't know why I thought Kate Hudson. Glenn Close.
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson.
Yeah.
Who you'd think had done her time
for Murphy
in the Ryan Murphy mines, but apparently not.
No.
And
Niecy Nash.
Niecy Nash as well. Yeah, they all play the lawyers in this firm, except for Sarah Paulson, who is their rival.
Yes.
Their bitter, hardened rival.
Yes.
Who sends them fruit baskets laced with feces and salmonella, and she just hopes they go die or whatever. Because this show, despite it being a legal show about a legal firm in which they take on legal cases legally and all that, It's not, is it?
Snot, no.
Snot.
Snot, indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just kind of about women...
Yassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the most work-intensive review I ever had to pull together. Okay? I haven't seen much of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I've seen maybe the odd clip in, like, another thing, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But I imagine it's the drama.
Right.
Transpose that milieu, that flavour, that idiosphere to a scripted drama. That's what this is. Okay? A femme entourage, or Real Housewives, the lawyers. It was almost certainly commissioned off the back of KK passing what's known as the baby bar exam. She hasn't passed the bar. She can now take the bar exam.
Right. Okay.
She featured in one of the American Horror Stories, so here she is, a new player in the Ryan Murphy company.
Okay.
And of course she is. They were meant for each other, the queen and queen of the empty. Right? So where the hell does one begin? And I suppose the superficial elements, because when in Rome.
Right.
It's all shot like an ad or a rap video.
Yeah.
We're inhabiting a serialized L'Oreal commercial, basically. Now, this is a Hulu show. It's professional. Small p professional. This isn't a capital A amateur production. The problem with both terms is that they imply a value judgment.
Okay.
I only call this professional in an official sense. Okay? Television has more guardrails and checks and balances than other media. Many hands, many sign-offs. On a technical level, the worst film will always be worse than the worst show.
Yeah, you can't throw together a TV show.
No, because the film can just be a guy.
Yeah.
Right? But this is the worst that scripted television gets. It's actually bewildering that it's been allowed.
Yeah.
One thing I will say by way of solace is that everyone is on board the hate train here.
Yeah.
Lucy Mangan at The Guardian gave it 0 stars. And she made this point about the bedrock of TV production. Like, there's a layer of quality beneath which it is impossible to sink, but this does.
Right.
I think it's a testament to the power of Ryan Murphy and Kardashian. It has a false, zippy vitality, aided and abetted by a constant, intrusive, yet characterless score and putrid soundtrack that insists you're watching something dynamic and fun. The tone is sickening. Between that and the aesthetic, to say the least, a profound alienation is created. You are just fixedly orbiting its surface.
Yeah.
You're not even banging against the glass in an attempt to dig down to some theme or some substance. You're just hovering like a star child near its dome. It's the televisual equivalent of lightheadedness. Right? It doesn't have sheen. It is it. It's just this girl power claptrap girl boss advert. An advert that is solely concerned, one has to surmise, with being camp entertainment, deriving pleasure from their prowess, queening all the bougie bitchitude, right? In the early stages, I had to make some assumptions about intent. It's so consistently arch and on the nose and reality deaf, I was thinking they were aiming for a Basic Instinct type schlock fest.
Okay.
Something unreal. My thoughts on this evolved, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't Neil Breen. It passes the most paltry of sniff tests, but the dialogue is essentially on that level, with an added sprinkle of self-conscious ridiculousness. It's uncanny. It's like a gag, but more on that too. We've said before how interesting it would be to take an atrocious, barely legible uni script and produce it professionally, like proper actors doing the sincere best with the language.
Yeah.
This is that, really. Kim Kardashian notwithstanding.
Well, you say that, but it's like... Yeah, professional cameras were used.
That's what I mean. Only officially is it professional.
Yeah, and the sound is like there's no gaps in the soundscape or anything. But yeah, like whenever there was a shot that looked like a shot you'd see in something professional, a shot that seemed to have some level of intent to it. They happen so rarely that we pointed them out every time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The music, like you said, it's not, well, I would say it's not bad music. No, it's music that has no relationship to what you're seeing on screen.
No.
There's no emotion to the music. The music is not trying to say anything about this. It's not supposed to complement the visual landscape at all. It's just filling...
It's law show music.
Yeah.
It's, peppy dynamic suits and that kind of thing.
Yeah, the same type of music will play when Kim Kardashian is destroying a car with a baseball bat in a fit of rage, as when she is just talking about having, like, Botox injected.
Right.
Which will be the same thing that plays after one of the characters is talking about how they were raped.
Sure.
You know, it's just... Like, it has no relationship to the visual.
It's just filler. It's just more sound to the scape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're proper actors, you know, otherwise.
Glenn Close,
Naomi Watts, you know. It's not even worth highlighting any of the writing. I think just to say that most lines are exemplars of bad writing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do 2. So both from Sarah Paulson.
Yeah.
I would still want to destroy you if you'd asked me earlier, but not quite as badly as I do now. So that's one.
Yeah.
And I hate you both so much that I'm specifically taking on clients now just to come here and make your life a living hell. New literalism taken to its radical apex. And that's not even... There are lines that are like egg rotten bad.
Yes.
Right? But that's just the level of like exposition that we have in the show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Sarah Paulson in particular, though, she was like the one character that in the show that we all... I don't know about you, but it was kind of like whenever she turned up, there was a little part of me that went, ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'll come back to her. But yeah, I agree.
But by the end of the show, they completely...
They ruined her.
Yeah, they ruined her. Somehow, considering that she started off as a bad character.
Yeah. Okay, the cast then. Everyone's annoying. Everyone. Slappable.
Yeah.
They have names like Allura and Liberty and Emerald Green. Kardashian can't act. Full stop.
And I think the show knows that, because despite the fact that she is the main character, and her divorce is kind of the driving plot for the first half of the show at the very least, and the fallout of that informs a lot of what happens in the second half.
Sure.
She's never the centre of attention in any scene that she's in.
I think she is. She is. She's not pulling you into it. That's the thing.
No, because it feels like the show is taking every opportunity to look at a different character whenever she's in the same room.
That is true.
Yeah.
But dramatically, you're meant to be drawn to her.
You're meant to be.
Yeah, but you're not because of the vacuum that she is.
Yeah.
Ironically. Yeah. She's not sucking you in. Vacuum that doesn't suck you in. And again, another layer of irony, because famous for being a cocksucker.
Absolutely.
Her voice is grating. Octaves higher than it should be, like a trauma victim, which it turns out she is actually.
Okay.
In the show. She underwent, I quote, physical, psychological, and worse abuse at a reform school. That was a laugh out loud moment. Because I know her father died in real life now, and we all deal with shit, but that woman gives the impression of having never faced a day of tribulation in her life.
Yeah.
They compensate for her acting by cladding her in increasingly outlandish costumes.
Yes.
It's like the Dean in Community. Like, we would guffaw at her just entering a scene. This time in French resistance chic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this time Dune attire.
Right, exactly, yeah. She actually has her arse out in one scene.
Yeah.
And costume is the word, not outfit. It's pantomime. It's drag. The wardrobe selections, much like the dialogue, it's really hard to isolate any one example. They wear gloves at work. That's where we are, basically. She's essentially a mannequin to show off brands. She just sits there.
Yeah.
It's hard to know whether Naomi Watts is trying or not. She embodies this push-pull ambiguity. She's like a ghost in that show. Like, I don't know whether she's trying or not, or there or not. Glenn Close is being a team player. She doesn't phone it in, and the show asks some embarrassing things of her.
Yeah.
You just feel bad for her, really.
Yeah, because there's like a whole little subplot where her husband dies, played by Ed O'Neill, who is also like not giving it his all, but not holding back either. Like,
they're doing their jobs.
Yeah, he does what's asked of him.
Yeah.
And there's a whole episode where he's just died and she's keeping his body upstairs.
Yeah.
Declaring that, like, oh yeah, I know he's dead and all that. Like, this isn't an insane thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
But also, she's clearly not willing to part with the body. Like, the show is going, oh, what she's doing is inappropriate and strange.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, you were just in Wake Up Dead Man. Like, did we get Wake Up Dead Man as an apology for this?
Yeah, it doesn't destroy her dignity. I'll still be able to watch her and other things, but it tries.
Yeah.
That Niecy Nash bringing the apparently necessary gumbo of black sass to the picnic. She's mostly hard to take. Her quoting Confucius was a moment, wasn't it? Teyana Taylor, tipped for an Oscar nomination in a film likely to win Best Picture, is about as untakeable here as she is in one battle after another.
Yeah.
This show does nobody a service, but I also think it's her. And I feel like we'll be seeing a lot more of her, so get ready for that. The wild card, yes, is Sarah Paulson. If one is tempted to praise something, sometimes it's her.
Yeah.
What's that awful phrase? She got the assignment or whatever. She understands the assignment.
Yes, yeah.
It's not that she's good. Nothing can be good here. Its vacuum-packed gloss insulates it from quality. I honestly think that to be of all's fair, is to be bad by definition.
Okay.
Right?
Like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that she's horrible to everyone. And while there's never a catharsis because her words never seem to actually hurt them, being horrible to these people is a start.
Yeah. And so she kind of ends up by default becoming the character that you're
because she's
happiest
nasty
to be
to
around.
people. And I don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like unconditional nastiness. It is super villain nasty.
It's evil, yeah.
Like straight up evil nasty.
Yeah.
Because
forget 11. She's playing it at 111.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's going to be the person that I'm going to latch onto during the show. But then episode 5 rolls around and she's given her sympathetic backstory episode.
Yeah.
And then she spends a lot of the back half of the show grovelling at the feet of everyone else while kind of pretending to still be nasty to them.
Yeah.
So it's like the one character that I was
that
willing to pay attention to, and you've ruined it.
Yeah, and while Glenn Close is asked to have a breakdown and destroy her kitchen, more is asked of Paulson. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So this begs the question, why is she doing this?
Yeah.
Does Ryan Murphy have something on her?
Has she not proven enough?
Yeah. But I think we'll come back to that as well.
Yeah.
So let's do the mandatory Murphy scolding. Hotel was the first thing I saw of his where the surface really seemed to be the point. It wasn't in service of anything. The plot was the style, right?
Okay.
In 2014, he gave us The Normal Heart. It's almost like that film, a very serious drama, got all the prestige out of his system.
Right.
And now he can just do empty gleam. His output is so bad now, it makes you question whether American Horror Story was ever any good.
Yeah.
By this point, he's got to be the worst powerhouse producer in Hollywood. And he's been described as the most powerful man in modern television. God help us.
Yeah, we watched like 2 episodes of this 9th season of 911.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a 9th season? Something ridiculous like
Whatever
that.
latest was. I was going to do like a mini review, but it just got too, it was an overload.
Yeah, but I think it's worth mentioning because you brought it to my attention. You were like, I want to watch 911 with you. And I was like, why on earth would I do that? And you went, well, you know what 911 is, right? And I was like, yeah, it's like a first responder show. And you went, yeah. The poster is someone in space, George. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then the first episode, a whale swallows a person. And we were like, all right, okay. What's happening? Is this a joke? Is he doing this on purpose?
It's mental.
It's utterly mental.
Utterly mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unlike Geen or his other 30 shows this year, this is Ryan Murphy. Like, he co-wrote most of the episodes, he directed the pilot, I don't know how Nip Tuck handled plastic surgery. Is there a more Ryan Murphy topic, by the way?
Right.
Like, whether it had anything to say about his vacuity. My memories of the marketing around it are that it did have that polished barrenness, too. Plastic surgeons and divorce lawyers, like this Venn diagram of distinctly LA creatures, the utter abyss of self-interest, self-obsession, material vanity. Like everything else he does, this is very gay.
Right.
Like, sure, there are some women that will unironically like this in the same way that there are some people that fuck stomas. But this is another show about women for gay men.
Okay.
Right? One just has to imagine that Murphy is into these worlds. He has no intention of condemning them. The Normal Heart wasn't his script, but that film had heart. It suggested that Ryan Murphy had heart.
A normal heart?
Indeed.
Yeah.
All I can surmise after the last decade of his career is that he had nothing to do with that film being any good. He just filmed what was on the page, and it was strong enough to withstand his intervention.
Okay.
Like Watchmen and Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Murphy can truly do whatever he wants, it seems. So fuck it. Kardashian got a law degree. Let's have another show then. Just another one.
Yeah.
The impossibility of getting a pilot made, picked up, and a series commissioned, and the craft that goes into a Better Call Saul or a Mr. Robot. You simply cannot do multiple shows at the same time. Some have managed to and done decently, unless it's a factory line and you don't really care about the product. Making television like you would make sandwiches if you owned a cafe. It's infuriating. This guy can just plate up another show. This one with egg salad. You know? John Kiriakou has written 6 scripts. 1 got to pilot, not even to series. And I would bet all future monies on that script being superior to every ongoing Murphy show. To what devil was it Lucifer of the Darkness of Visible himself did this fruit sell his soul? In the stark, naked spotlight of what this show is, with all the low-hanging fruit, it's easy to forget that divorce lawyers are fundamentally scum, right? It's a sin of an industry. All's Fair is not an examination of that. It's not the Sopranos of divorce law. It isn't even the Wolf of Wall Street of divorce law. And sure, I would imagine that it's a practice whose virtue is disputed along ideological and class and gender lines. But this doesn't do anything besides portray it as an unalloyed good.
Yeah.
The show is not interested in depicting its darker dimensions. Evil, one could argue.
No, well, I mean, the first episode, James Remar? James Remar, who's been in, like, every show this year, I think, for some reason. No, it's been, like, 3. He's one of the first people we see, is that his wife is, like, in their house.
Yeah.
And she's...
I really don't want to cut you off, but, like, I'm just about to get to that bit. I apologise. But, I just want to say that the thing about it being, like, an examination of that stuff, I think that's light years loftier than what this can wish to aspire to dream, like that Dylan Moran thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's not capable of that.
To hope to think that it could believe that it could dream.
Right.
Yeah.
About actually unpacking an issue. So yeah, let's say you weren't inclined to write a drama exploring the ethical nuances of divorce law. Politically, you're just on board that train. It wouldn't be hard to formulate scenarios where the men are totally in the wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Utter pricks. You put forward only the most misogynistic pieces of shit. And yeah, we would still complain about that imbalance, but they don't even bother to build a straw man. It's not even one-sided, right? It's indifferent. Because the stories are populated with women that are loathsome to anyone with a pulse, and men that just react like normal human beings. It's a show that asserts that women are never in the wrong, even when they are, within the very examples the show provides.
Yeah.
Right? While the show just says they aren't. And this isn't a bias in action. So yes, the example that we should talk about. In the pilot, mind you, where you might want to establish the necessity of what these women do.
Yeah.
They give us this woman. And yeah, do you want to explain who she is?
Yeah, so she's James Remar's wife.
Yeah.
She is cheated on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he wants to divorce her because she cheated on him.
Yes. And over the years, he's gifted her all these jewels.
Yeah, gifted her jewellery, where she's like, oh, sorry for missing your birthday. Sorry for missing your Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry for missing your... It was something...
Scan, I think.
Yeah. Something like really nothing.
No, I think it was like a cancer scan or something.
No, but there was one example where it was like...
Oh, yeah.
Why would you even turn up to that? You know, even if it's your wife.
Yes.
It's still like, all right, I don't think you needed to be there.
I won't dispute that he may have been an inattentive husband.
No,
let's take that as a given.
That's clearly what they're trying to...
Yeah.
So the argument they're trying to make is because he was inattentive and didn't really care about her, it's okay that she cheated on him.
No, he didn't care about it. It's just that he's clearly a millionaire. He's busy a lot.
Yeah.
Right? He clearly cares about her. He loses his fucking mind.
Well, we see that, but the show is trying to position him as
that's what I'm saying.
He's the uncaring husband.
That's the uncanny thing about it, is how easy would it be to just put forward sympathetic women?
Yeah.
But in their own examples, anyone who's normal, it just feels bad for him.
Yeah.
And hates her.
Because it turns
But the show is saying, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah, no. The example, like, she, like, one of the divorce lawyers turns up and goes into the room with her, and it turns out that she's got $40 million worth of jewellery he's given her over the years.
And it's hers because they were gifts.
Well, that's the thing. She's worried she's going to lose this. She's not worried about, like, the fact he's going to hurt her.
No.
Or that the divorce is going to ruin her life or anything.
No, she's worried she's going to be destitute.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. But then, she's like, oh, no, actually, because they were gifts, they're yours, so you've got $40 million that you're taking away, plus half of what he owns, because we'll get you that as well.
Right.
Because you deserve that.
That's how it works.
Because that's how it works. So as they're walking out of the house, James Remar's walking out of the house going, I'm so devastated. Did you ever love me?
Yeah.
And she's just like, yeah, I guess at one point, but I prefer your jewellery, so...
Yeah, there's a moment where it looks as though it's going to be like a dramatic, emotional... I only slept with him because he looked at me the way you used to look at me.
Yeah.
I didn't even wasn't attracted to him. So yes, I did love you, but not anymore. I do, however, love your taste in jewellery. Like, goodbye, darling. Something like that, right? Meant to like this woman. Yeah. That's the thing. By the way, I don't know what the law is. I imagine it's right, because that feels unfair enough, you know. And again, this is the pilot, right? So, at the time, I was thinking, is the idea to be so straight-faced in the satire that your hatred for the vapidity becomes entrenched without the need of commentary?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They don't have to have a character going, God, she's a bit vacuous.
Yeah.
And, like, they're just doing, like Wolf of Wall Street, right? It's just the excess is winning, Because there can be something really admirable in doing that, just to kind of take your audience intelligence, you know.
Yeah.
But again, no one here's capable of that. That perky, high-powered score underlining her triumph. Nothing is that ironic. One thing I said about Geen is that it wasn't in dialogue with anything. This is the same. The woman is presented as being a bit dopey, but not unsympathetic at all. That's just the accidental effect. But if this wasn't a Ryan Murphy show, I could, because this is a professional television show, be convinced that the whole thing was a chauvinist's attempt to get you on his side.
Right.
I'm going to just concoct the most evil women, and everyone's going to watch and think, God, women are awful, aren't they? Or, alternately, some counterintuitive philanthropic effort to boost the viewer's sense of inner substance. Because if you watch this, you're going to think, yeah, I'm actually quite a well-rounded person.
It's like with when you worked in Pound Stretcher and you were stacking all of the biscuits and you were like, I'm just not hungry.
Yeah,
I'm looking at all this food thinking, God, all this food's going to be eaten.
Right, exactly, yeah. That's it.
And it's like putting me off food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to live a better life just so I'm not around all this food.
It's if that was Pound Stretcher's intent.
Yeah.
She's not the only gal obsessed with shiny objects. Whenever one of the central characters is upset, the others just encourage her to buy jewellery.
Yeah.
So yeah, New York Fashion Week shoes, private plane caviar. What says show me the bling in that first episode? And that might as well be the tagline of the show. It's wealth porn. And I don't know how entertaining the uber rich are during this cost of living crisis, right?
Yes.
People just want to survive and have a bit left over for some fun. This isn't aspirational, but it fetishizes rings and necklaces and cars and dresses. It's littered with these beauty shots like parodies of product placement.
And dildos.
But it transcends product placement. It's product promotion, right? At one point, a character asks, isn't this someone ludicrously opulent we can go? Opulently ludicrous. That's this show. The third episode devotes 5 minutes to all of them systematically going through their self-care routines. The other day, I went under this new miracle laser that makes the tiniest holes in the skin that stimulate collagen. Then there's this filler that comes from salmon sperm. Then there's this new check machine that stimulates muscle control. All this shit.
Yeah.
All married to a sequence of her being beautified. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Tonally, it reminded me of those commercials in the 6 Feet Under pilot for mortuary products.
Oh, right.
Remember that? This is soon followed by a lingering shot where Nash opens a drawer to reveal her collection of vibrators.
Yeah.
I spoke about the peppy pace of the show, the lively editing and the camera movements. This is a fixed shot for several seconds.
Yeah.
It's startlingly conspicuous. They do the same thing for a shampoo brand, which then also gets a name check. It's just grotesque. And it's capped off with Glenn Close bemoaning the effort to fight time. But the upshot of that is, but you gotta do it. Right?
Yeah.
Nash literally says, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better, do that shit. That's the message. That's the message.
Yeah. Just falsify yourself.
Yeah.
To make yourself feel like you look younger.
When Allura's husband says he wants a divorce, the girls come over and say, we're going to take you to an auction, we're going to buy you some ridiculously expensive jewellery, then we'll have a night of oysters and martinis. And Allura responds, that actually sounds like the best day ever. Ultimately, this is probably a minor gripe in the grand scheme of things, but I think it does point to something bigger. What do you mean, actually? Like, if your boyfriend says, oh, I know it's not much, but I figured we'd just have a cup of tea and watch Netflix or whatever, then the response is appropriate. Actually, that's really sounds good. So, you're going to get a blowjob, right, from a supermodel, as melted dairy milk is spooned into your mouth. Oh, it's healthy for you, by the way. It contains the elixir of life. Oh, and you'll also be euphorically high on a drug that has zero negative effects that reveals the secret of the universe. And the secret is, there is a God, and he's a golden retriever. He loves you. And everyone you love will be okay. Contrary to what you might expect my response to be, that actually sounds quite nice. I think
also, that night that they just described to us, like, oh, we'll have oysters and martinis and vibrators and this shit. Isn't that every day for them?
Well, that's the thing. I think the rage it generated stemmed from my intuition that in their lives, that is low key.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a quiet night. Yeah, we haven't talked much about the legal stuff. The show doesn't either.
No.
Don't worry.
There's a room that they sit in, like a cylindrical room.
Yeah, for like arbitration.
For arbitration,
Yeah.
and at one point just for lunch.
Oh, that one. You mean the library?
Yeah, the library
Yeah.
where there's books like surrounding them. A whole...
There's nothing in those books.
I think I asked you multiple times, how many of those books do you think those characters have actually
I haven't
read?
read any of them, but I bet but it's just like, they're just those things you get where it's like a relic hidden in a book or whatever. Yeah, it's just wine.
Yeah.
They're boxes of wine.
There's like in a couple of episodes, they have like an arbitration, or they have like they sit down with the opposite party and just blackmail them into not going to court. It never goes to court. Nothing ever goes to court.
It's like I said, normally
a
legal drama. We
Yeah.
never see the inside of a courtroom.
No.
Never happens. They have one arbitrator there at one point. It's like a judge figure. But that's it. One thing we can mention on that front, there's one client mutilated by various plastic surgeries. Like, she only went in for X, but then the husband demanded chin tuck and Y and Z. His lawyer says they can't prove he forced her. And our heroes respond, well, maybe not, but how are the optics going to look in court? Well, she looks like a fucking blowfish, right?
Right.
The optics will be that she's a shallow money grubber. Like, Jesus, like, your attitude to women and every other subject can be wrong. At least be convincingly good lawyers.
Yeah.
You know, like, get something right. You know?
Yeah.
It's like they would understand that. Like, oh, she's not going to look good in court.
Yeah.
When a man wants half his wife's fortune for exactly the same reason all the women want their husbands, they treat it as unconscionable. Right? I get their job is to zealously represent their clients, but some acknowledgement of that would have been nice. That was always on the good wife's mind, the hypocrisy and the morality of what they were doing.
Yes.
And I know, I apologise for mentioning the good wife in this horrible place, but this claims it's a legal drama. They have a way of just brushing off the cases of the week, like resolving them whateverly. Like, a woman throws acid in her ex's face, so that's that over. A man who wanted kids with his ex impregnates his new wife, so that's that.
Yeah.
The MO of pure, unserious high campness is confounded by a few things. I mentioned Allura's rapey boarding school, and also Emerald is raped, right? Don't worry, after an episode she's fine.
Yeah.
Within the same episode, actually, she has about 4 different hair changes after the fact, and different get-ups moment to moment. Look, women deal with that horror however they deal with it, but that didn't quite ring true for me. Did it you?
Well, maybe she's just falling back on what she knows.
Maybe,
you know?
Yeah. It's a perfect distillation of the show's utter inability to deal with anything serious.
Yeah.
It's so off-base tonally. Like, I did enjoy the exposition that the rapist used, quote, not just GHBs, but benzos, his own special cocktail. This town deserves a better class of rapists, and I'm going to give it to them. They also, you alluded to them trying to humanize Sarah Paulson's villain. Like, she gets that focus episode, and that might be the worst episode.
Yeah.
Because it's just very bad, not a criminal catastrophe. Therefore, the worst. If you're mounting a panto, don't give context to the baddie.
Yeah.
If you're a musical, you don't give the villain I Want song. And I think that's apt, because musicals occupy the same terrain as this, which is gay.
Right.
But here's the thing. I've alluded a few times to a larger point, and it's this. As time went on, I started to gather the impression that the whole enterprise was a big joke. I was always convinced it was a con. All the stars are executive producers, right? And that makes me Sarah Paulson. It makes a bit more sense. Red Letter Media, they have this great video where Mike theorizes that Adam Sandler is swindling his audience.
Yeah.
Stuffing his films with product placement, which would net him millions and millions of dollars. But none of that shows up on the screen, right? They're all incredibly cheap looking. So the thinking is he casts his mates and they just get these epic paychecks.
Yeah.
And that's what this felt like. But beyond that, we have the fact they are completely neglecting the opportunity to advance their own apparent cause, often actively working against themselves, it seems. But that could be a mixture of piss-poor writing and just taking the support of the audience, the female audience anyway, for granted. I think it's deliberately bad. Not to get conspiratorial, but this is the most watched thing on Hulu for quite a while, and I'm sure that Kim Kardashian understands the power of the hate watch.
Yeah.
Some people sincerely enjoy her, many others hate watch her, or at least do so knowing that she's trash. I think this is designed to be trash. Not just shallow, campy fun. Trash. She's been retweeting or posting on Instagram the negative reviews. It's the brand.
Okay.
The brand is that it's an awful show.
See,
yeah, I know.
I don't know how you feel about that. That just makes it worse for me.
Well, okay. There's the strain of vulgarity throughout it, okay?
Yeah.
Cements my position. Like, and the lines that just read like rage bait for conservatives, or just men. So like, well, he's a cop, of course he's dirty. Things like that.
Yeah.
And Carl talks about masturbating to Jesus, getting a guy to fuck her pretending to be Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a laboured, contrived monologue taking full advantage of the dual meaning of pussy. The notoriety of divorce law, like how men are fucked over, how men feel about it. The attitude and entitlement of every female character. If there was ever any outrage, it was nullified. Believing it's self-conscious, for me, it robs it of a lot of power. The power of spite. Because it wants to trigger people. Which is still a despicable philosophy. But how angry are you going to let a troll make you?
No, I know that, but I think it's anger that's coming from a different place. Because when we started watching it, I think we were watching it from a position of, look at this insane show that doesn't understand how terrible it is.
Yes.
And we finished it going, oh god, look at this show that knows how terrible
it's
it is.
cynical.
Yeah.
It's cynical. And this thing, it's one thing to want to be campy fun, which is what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think there's just stuff in there, like her whole pussy thing on the death. But no one's that bad at writing, are they? Like on that level.
Yeah.
No one's that bad at writing.
That's the problem as well, is that now that we finished the show, well, finished the season because they've renewed it, right? So there's going to be more.
Yeah.
I feel bad because now I feel like I've given it what it wants by watching it.
Right.
And by us even talking about it now.
Yeah, I know. We watched it illegally.
No, but that we are giving it traffic. We are giving it attention.
I know. But either way, it's bad. It's not like, if they know it's bad, maybe that's... No. But all to say that in the end, it was a marginally less spiritually taxing experience than Geen for me.
Okay.
Because this is soulless in its own way, but for one thing, it doesn't purport to be anything other than fiction. We could both say a lot more, I think. Right? I genuinely deleted about 2/3 of my notes.
Right.
Things didn't really connect to broader points. Second to second, it offers up moments that we would spend 20 minutes discussing if they were in something else. True summits of shit.
Yeah.
But here, they blend in. There's an arbitration scene where Sarah Paulson has a meltdown on the table, screaming at a man to tell his ex how he came in her mouth, in her ass, in her pussy. At the time, I sat there thinking it was one of the worst, most humiliating things ever committed to film. And it is. And yet, you get beaten down. Like, there's only so much talking you can do.
Yeah.
So whether All's Fair is an earnest, artistic effort or an expensive, cynical in-joke, it stands as one of the worst television shows ever made.
Yeah.
It's in the canon as such now. Like, if you look at Wikipedia, worst shows, it's in there. Maybe they'd be happy to hear me say that, helping that brand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Ironic, self-aware, whatever. If you're the thing, you're the thing, It's almost the most watched debut in 3 years. So we will be getting more, and I suspect more still. And that's all I have to say on the subject.
Yeah. Needless to say, it's not a recommendation.
No, it's...
But certainly...
terrible.
Yeah, like in the wake of it being commissioned for more...
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be watching season 2. You're more than welcome to if you want to for the podcast. I'm not going... Because, like I said, I feel like I've given it what it wants, and I feel dirty because of that.
Fair enough. I think I'm going to have to look at it. Whether I talk about it is another matter.
Yeah.
But I am probably going to have to look at it. Just to confirm my suspicions are correct. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Whether they're continuing the strand, or whether they've, taken on board the criticism. Like, they tried to correct for it. Then that would be something. Because then I would know... Oh, they're actually trying to do a good show. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Or just, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But that is that, I think.
I think so.
And is that everything?
Sure. Why not? Don't watch it.
No. Then we will see you in the best and the worst. I gotta say it. You are now leaving Video Village.
What did you think it said on the other side?